spray on your skateboard all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with that gang shit. On my left, oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Black and Black Times Infinity, take two. Mark.
On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on the threes and fours, Chronos. In the middle, we got your boy Stitch.
Everybody in here is mad sus.
Last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
I don't know, Stitch looking a little sus to me.
We back up in here. We thank everybody for being with us. Hey, Chronos, take us with some stats. You did have to restart. We fooled people. All right, old ninja. You're usually pouring out something. What you sipping on, what you pouring out. And who's to do?
Pouring out some St. Ides for we got a slightly longer, well, not longer list, but a little longer than average. Real quick, pour some out. We're gonna start out with Clark Middleton. Best known for his most current work on NBC's The Blacklist. Veteran actor Clark Middleton has passed away. He had roles in big films such as Sin City, Kill Bill Volume 2, and Snowpiercer. He has also been in some notable TV shows such as Twin Peaks, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and American Gods. His wife has stated that he has died due to West Nile virus.
God damn.
Yeah, he was 63. Next up, we have Johnny Nash. Singer, songwriter Johnny Nash has passed away. His most famous single is I Can See Clearly Now, which was released in 1972. Nash has also done some screen acting, appearing in the 1951 adaptation of Take a Giant Step. He also sang the theme song to the animated series The Mighty Hercules, or Heracles, in 1963. Nash is the founder of Cayman Music, which he signed Bob Marley and the Wailing Wailings for $50 a week back in the early 60s. He continued working in the music industry for the next few decades. He also started another record label called JAD Records, J-A-D Records. He died in his home in, I think it was Houston, due to natural causes at the age of 80. Next up, we have Conchata Farrell. Veteran actress Conchata Farrell, best known for her work on Two and a Half Men as the character Berta. She's passed away. She's been in films such as Edward Scissorhands, Aaron Brockovich, and Frankenweenie. She's also appeared in TV shows such as The Ranch on Netflix, ER, The Wild Thornberrys, and Friends. She's been nominated for 3 Emmys, and she's been acting for 50 years. She suffered a cardiac arrest at her home. She was 77. Next up, we have Thomas Jefferson Byrd. Thomas Jefferson Byrd, best known for being in almost every single Spike Lee film, including Clockers, He Got Game, Get on the Bus. He was murdered in Atlanta, Georgia. He was shot multiple times in the back.
God damn.
He attended Morris Brown College, my old alma mater, and he received a bachelor's degree in education, and later he received a master's degree in fine arts from the California Institute of Arts. He's featured in, which is currently running, Spike Lee's She's Gotta Have It Netflix series, which I did not know existed. He'll be featured in the upcoming film Freedom's Path, which will be due out later this year. He was 70 years old. Last but certainly not least, we have Edward Ludwig von Halen, better known as rock legend Eddie Van Halen. He has passed away. He was born in the Netherlands, which I had no idea. His family moved to Pasadena, California when he was 10. Eddie and his brother formed the band Van Halen in 1972, and the rest is pretty much history. Charting 13 number one hits, placing in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2007. Their career is long and like arduous. I'm just going to point out a quick couple highlights. Eddie Van Halen does the guitar solo in Michael Jackson's Beat It. Eddie and his brother made 2 tracks to the soundtrack for the pornographic film Sacred Skin.
Oh.
Eddie has 3 patents under his name related to guitars. Eddie has worked, or Van Halen has worked with numerous artists, including Black Sabbath, Gene Simmons, and even LL Cool J. I think it's kind of impossible for you to live on the planet Earth and not know who Van Halen is. I mean, movies, TV, soundtracks, he's pretty much everywhere. He died due to
Who are we talking
pancreatic
about?
cancer.
Eddie Van Halen.
Eddie Van Halen. What were you going to say something, buddy?
Yeah, I was really quickly going to say, I had no idea that I guess his mom was Indonesian.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
His mom was
I didn't know that.
His mom was Indonesian, or at the time it wasn't even called Indonesia. It was called the Dutch East Indies. That's how far back. And his dad was Dutch.
There you go.
I miss his age. I believe he was 65. There you go.
Still young.
He
Got a rave going on over there.
Strobe lighted.
Don't have seizures.
Quick correction. He didn't die of I've heard it was pancreatic. It was throat cancer. He had throat cancer. He died due to cancer.
Did he blame it on his pick in his mouth? That's what I heard. Yeah, apparently he said he got the cancer exact spot where he always put his pick in his mouth. So he assumed that he got the cancer from his pick, his guitar playing pick.
Was it lead based?
He blames tongue cancer on his habit of holding guitar picks. In 2015, he said he used metal picks. Yeah, but the picks were brass and copper. He said he got cancer in his tongue due to it.
What the fuck?
But not sure if that was scientifically true. But he also did a lot of drugs. So
I was about to say,
yeah,
rock and roll man lives a hard life.
I'm gonna say this is by his own admission. He literally said, "I was smoking and doing a lot of drugs and a lot of everything." End quote. So
okay, all right.
Wasn't there an the guy who did the movie reviews who had throat cancer? Didn't he say he got it from like going down on a whole bunch of females?
Oh, you talking about Roger Ebert?
Yeah, didn't he say that?
I thought it was smoking. Yeah, I mean, you never know, man. They be groupies in different industries, bro. If those cake boss guys can have groupies, what makes you think that Roger Ebert didn't have groupies?
Got them review holes.
Holy shit.
Right. They're like, "Hey, Roger, review this pussy," and he's like, no.
Holy fuck. All right, let's. Y'all want to?
We're back, baby.
I don't know who wants to do it. Y'all want to address? I mean, obviously, we did not cast last week, so do we want to tell the audience some of the things, because there was a lot going on that prevented that?
I mean, that's up to y'all. So we can dive right in. We have a lot to discuss. A lot of shit was going on in the world.
Well, last week going on, was because Kronos was out of town.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
God damn. Like a trucker.
Crazy.
In the chat?
Clay, can you hear the rest of the crew? Let's see. Yeah.
Let's try to do some testing on that.
Yeah.
Clay don't lie.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Yeah, my OBS crashed too, so I had to close it out and start it up again.
Okay, so what are we doing? Are you fixing technical?
Well, I'm working on it right now.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, do we need to be quiet while you're doing that, or
There we go. Let me know if you guys can hear me now. You should be able to. So I'll wait for Clay or somebody.
Confirmation.
Yeah, they should be able to though.
Okay.
But the other part, reason why we didn't record last week either was because I was actually in the hospital. I had some stomach issues and took your boy out, and I was in the hospital for a good 5 days. So I wasn't in the mood to podcast whatsoever. And even when we got out, like I wasn't in the mood to do it on the weekends either, because I had to spend some time with the sweetness because she was by herself. So the one takeaway from being in a hospital during a pandemic is you can't have visitors, and dude, it's fucking lonely as hell in the goddamn hospital. Like, only visitors I had was like the nursing staff, and like I don't know, some of the nursing staff, bedside manners wasn't like the greatest. They just pretty much came in there and did what they had to do and left. But my morning,
No sponge baths.
no sponge baths, no. But my morning crew was pretty nice. The girl came in, she talked to me, she kept me informed of what was going on, this and that. So that was pretty cool. But you know, all my interactions was like either through messages or through video chat with my wife. But yeah, dude, I feel sorry for anybody who's in the hospital right now, like fighting some kind of disease and just doing it alone without having family there. So. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I lost, dude. Everything that happened to me was insane, and I'll talk about it one day. But you know, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
All right, man. Yeah, we got a bunch going on. So we got a double dose for y'all for that ass this week, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to talk about some serious stuff first? Because I mean, we had a whole fucking shit show last week.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we should definitely start with that. I figured.
Yeah.
I think everybody's waiting for it. Everyone's seeing about it.
Trump got Rona. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Trump versus the coronavirus. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on beforehand. I mean, it was weird because it was in the middle of the night. I think it was 1:00 Eastern time, and there's this tweet from Donald Trump's Twitter account saying that he tested positive for the coronavirus, him and the first lady, and then all of a sudden my timeline is full of memes within 30 seconds about Trump's gonna die, and you know, I guess it's not a hoax, and drink some Clorox, you'll be fine, and just all kinds of stuff. And then within the next, I guess, 24 hours, more people that were in the vicinity of Donald Trump, so people that were in his administration, including his little. Actually, no, I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to call her names, but the person that seems to defend him the most is Kellyanne Conway. Is that her name? Or Kaylee something?
Kellyanne
Yeah,
Conway.
We're talking about Kelly
Those
McEnany.
are two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Kellyanne
about to
Conway
say.
is like, yeah, Kaylee is the press secretary. So she
Okay.
actually has like a
Kellyanne
job.
Conway used to be press secretary, right?
No, she used to run this campaign, as far as I knew.
Well,
Yeah, like a campaign advisor, senior campaign advisor, some shit like that.
But ultimately, both got it.
Yeah.
both of them got it.
Yeah.
Both of them got it.
But one's got a daughter though who goes hard as fuck against her, so that's worth noting.
Well, let's be real clear on that one. The daughter, teenage daughter, like dropped it on TikTok and was like, "Hey, my mama got the Rona. She's endangering us all. I can't stand her." This is the same daughter that was just like, "I need to be emancipated. Get me away from this woman." She dropped it, and then the mama was forced basically to be like, "Yeah, it is true. I got the Rona." So she was spilling the young girl was spilling all that tea. Like,
yeah,
that's where the story started.
It wasn't even she was spilling the tea. She was throwing her mom on the fucking bus. She's like, here she is. My mom doesn't believe in the coronavirus, and she's not wearing a mask. She's coughing on everybody. Got the whole family sick, and she's listening to her Lord and Savior and shit like that. She was putting her mom on fucking blast. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she was. She was also contradicting what was being reported in the news about Donald Trump's health, about how he was doing fine, he was up and about, and she was the first one to be like, no, they're talking about putting him on a ventilator, and like he's not doing fine, he's like sweating, like all kinds of stuff. They're all, don't believe, she's literally on here like, don't believe the shit that they're saying. You obviously, you can see that you can't see him, I can see him type shit. I was like, well, damn, what's gonna happen now? So like it was just a whirlwind of stuff. Like, as the days went on, more and more people from his administration was going on. Kaylee, I don't remember her last name, but I know that people were bringing up receipts about her saying that the president would never let the virus hit, the country, it would never hit the White House. And there's literally her, it's like a 30-second spot on like Fox News or CNN. I think it's Fox, saying that this will never happen, and people are posting this to her saying, you said this was going to happen, I guess this didn't happen, where's your commander-in-chief, where's your messiah now type thing. And she's like, you guys take this out of context. We're like, oh,
ain't no context.
Are you serious? Yeah, she literally reposted, you guys took what I said out of context. I'm like, no, there was no way that you would know when this would hit the White House, or if this would hit the White House. And now that it did, and you're being shown your receipts, you're kind of looking like a fool trying to defend your tweets. Like,
well, one thing that kind of came to light too was that, so originally I think it was somebody named Hope something was the first one that had tested positive for the coronavirus within the political party, during Trump's party, and it's not sure when Trump tested positive. But apparently before the presidential debate, like his debate with Biden, Trump didn't get, like, everybody who was there at the debate was tested for the coronavirus except for Trump's party, because those motherfuckers showed up late. And because they showed up late, they didn't have enough time to test everybody, and so they pretty much did it on good faith, basically. They're like, hey, you have the Rona? They're like, no. Okay, let's go. That's basically what happened with the fucking debate. And it's like, are you fucking serious? And like, most of his party wasn't even wearing masks the whole fucking time either, which is like, are you guys fucking serious? That guys really don't take this shit serious.
And then, to make matters kind of worse, he takes his Secret Service team in a condensed SUV to do photo ops out the street.
No, you gotta
you're jumping ahead.
Because then we got reports. We got reports that he was going to head to Walter Reed Hospital, and Marine One was going to bring him there. And everyone's like, oh shit, that's crazy serious. So we see the helicopter parked on the front lawn of the White House and everything, and everyone's waiting to see, like, all right, are they going to... Cause everyone knows that he knows that the world's watching, so he can't just go limping over into the fucking... into the helicopter, go on a stretcher, so they gotta fucking pump him up with as much every ounce of strength he has to actually walk over to the motherfucker. And then they put him, he gets in the helicopter, flies however the distance is from the helicopter, from the White House to the hospital. I guess it's not that far, but it's whatever. They just didn't want to risk a vehicle traffic or whatever. So then he goes to the hospital. He's in the hospital, checked in, and it's all quiet for a little bit. Then he starts tweeting, making all these videos saying, I'm doing okay, blah, 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 blah. I'll be back shortly. And I think it was the next day, maybe. It was probably less than 24 hours. But he decides to... I thought he was like leaving initially. Like people were like, oh yeah, he's ready to go or something. And of course his band of idiots are outside like cheering him on, be like, oh yay, with having a mini little rally on the corner of the hospital. And he decides to hop in the SUV with Secret Service and do a nice little drive-by so he can see the fans of his and everything inside the fucking bulletproof. I can't think of the actual word for it, but
hermetically
it's like
sealed.
Yeah.
hermetically sealed SUV or whatever with his Secret Service members inside. So he can just wave at the people. And I was just like, you got to be fucking. And people were like really outraged. And even though like the Secret Service can't obviously publicly comment on things like that, it was coming out through like back channels that people of like the Secret Service community, I guess maybe retired agents and stuff like that, were just like, yo, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's one thing to like sign up to like when you're a Secret Service agent to like put your life on the line for the president, but the president isn't supposed to risk your life like doing shit or whatever. The president isn't supposed to like possibly kill you or get you sick and shit like that. And so that's essentially kind of what he was doing by having them in this fucking airtight rolling death chamber with this man who has the fucking virus. Yeah.
But one
Cronus, get in
thing.
here. Oh, I was
Oh,
gonna say Cronus hasn't got in here at all. Sorry,
Oh,
if his
sorry.
mic is fixed, let's get him in there.
Oh, you guys skip some stuff when you were talking about the Rona. Yeah, like one of them was, you know, the doctor, like when Trump first went to the hospital, there was a team of doctors, and one was a total fucking tool, where they asked him, you know, was, you know, President Trump on oxygen? He's like, well, he wasn't on oxygen today. He's like, no, was he on oxygen at all? Well, not today. And it's like, look, motherfucker, we know not today. Like before, was he on oxygen? He was so evasive about answering the question. And then, of course, the next day he was like, oh, yeah, you know, he was on oxygen on Thursday night and Friday. And it's like, just tell the goddamn truth. Just tell the truth. Yep. You know, like the fact that they're lying about this shit, and the fact that, you know, President Trump has been so dismissive about this virus. Like, and he's still, even now, he's saying that he thinks he's immune for some reason. Like, you're not immune, you jackass. Like, how could you possibly think you're immune? People get reinfected. You know, it's like they haven't figured this out. He didn't get a vaccine, like people on the right are saying. It wasn't a vaccine; it was a therapeutic that he got to deal with his symptoms. And now he's supposedly not. He's supposedly negative now for COVID-19. But it's like for a while they wouldn't even say if he was negative or not. Like he was going out and having these rallies, and he was still still wouldn't say if he was negative or not. And it was like it's so insane to me that would happen. And going back to like the whole debate thing, Chris Wallace, I think that's the guy's name. He came out. He was pissed because everybody in that area was supposed to wear a mask for that debate, and they came through and they didn't. Like his whole like family didn't wear a mask. His advisors didn't wear a mask, and people from that it was agreed upon that everybody wear masks like before everybody got there. And the people that worked there, they even walked up to them and offered them masks, and they just waved them away. Like they're basically like a monarchy in America. It's like, no, you're not above, you know, these rules. You're not above the law. Like you need to serve. And that's one of the reasons why we're not having another debate is because first they were demanding that if we're doing another debate, if you don't wear a mask, you're getting kicked out. Doesn't matter who you are, which, yeah, that's the way it should have been. Because the only people that were supposed to not wear masks were Chris Wallace, Joe Biden, and President Trump while they were doing the debate. So they were just totally, you know, ignored those rules. And yeah, I mean, the fact that he's saying he's immune, he's going out and doing more, you know, tours and all this stuff is just like so insane. And the fact that they were trying to cover up his illness by wearing more makeup and trying to cover up like his like his IV stuff, and it's just like, dude, you're sick. And like when he flew back like a couple days after, which is so stupid. I don't know why you would fly this man back into a place that is full of people when he's clearly infectious. He gets off the damn helicopter, goes up to like the veranda, and takes his mask off, and you can see him wheezing for breath. You can literally see him wheezing for breath, and all just to make a point. Like you're putting people's lives at risk to make it seem like to show to him a show of strength, but it's not a show of strength. You're an obese 74-year-old man. Nothing about you screams strength. All right, come on now, man. You can't even do a push-up. Like
to kind of piggyback on the doctor thing too. Like the doctors were talking about how, because I remember him coming out saying something like, "Yeah, Trump's in good health and he's he's breathing on his own and this and that, and he was like really pumping up that Trump was like doing really well, but then like the next day he like flip-flopped his story, and it's like, dude, like, come on. I mean, I'm pretty sure Trump probably was fucking stepping on his fucking testicles telling him to say all this stuff, but like the fact that the information that we were getting from the doctors was so incorrect was very discerning.
Well, eventually you never even saw him again. Like, they just cut the guy out. Like, you never saw that guy. After the second day, the guy was gone.
Yeah.
Real quickly, just to give some additional insight, Regeneron is the drug company. They deliver these monoclonal antibodies. But
is that a Decepticon or
yeah, it sounds like it. But here's what I found fascinating. In terms of larger context, you got to remember this too. The whole reason why you got this treatment with antibodies, according to the scientists, not me, is as a result of stem cell testing. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to be anti-stem cell, which I think is ridiculously stupid and short-sighted, then you shouldn't be for any treatments that came as a result of that either. Sorry.
So yeah, his drug was experimental, was it not?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's not approved by the FDA.
Well,
so don't go thinking that you and your hillbilly dumbass can get that treatment.
Yeah, no,
because it won't happen.
And let's also be clear about something else about COVID-19 that's been sort of misinformation that they're conveniently leaving off because there's nobody that gives updates for the coronavirus anymore. The task force seems to be dismantled at this point. Kennedy McEnany is still infectious. President Trump doesn't really seem to care about talking about these actual issues. But I will tell you, 2 of the vaccine candidates are now on pause. 2 of the 4 have been paused.
Eli Lilly was one.
Yeah, and so was Johnson & Johnson. Both of those trials are on pause. With no, they haven't said when they're going to restart the trials.
So
for safety reasons, let's just be clear on that.
Yeah.
So
that means some patient that was in a clinical trial or a series of patients had adverse effects as a result of that vaccine that they were testing, and they had to stop it for fucking safety.
So
think about that.
The one that got me was the Johnson & Johnson test, because it says, like Prodigy just said, they developed an unforeseen illness and they don't know how they got it. So now they had to stop so they can do more research on what happened.
What happened last time too, like earlier in the month, or I think it was like last month, they had to stop testing because somebody came down with some mysterious illness, and they're like, okay, we need to pause everything and go back to. It's basically like the scene from fucking Spider-Man. I mean, go back to testing.
Yeah, but this is what I said. I think the last podcast. I'm like, or maybe a couple podcasts ago, is like, you can't sit there and tout that you're rushing these vaccines. It's not safe to rush anything that has to do with trying to cure any sort of virus. Like, it seems incredibly stupid to me, especially when it keeps saying, "Oh, we'll have it, in the summertime, a vaccine. Oh, we'll have it before the end of the year." Based upon what evidence would you think that we would have this done by the end of the year? He keeps saying that we're breaking records. This is going to be the fastest vaccine ever. But nobody cares about how fast you get the vaccine. They care about the vaccine is safe to take. All right, that's what they care about. That doesn't have unforeseen consequences, which we're already seeing. I think it's half the trials now are on pause because there's only 4 because there's some sort of health issue with them, but they're gonna keep out there putting out this misinformation. Meanwhile, thousands of people are continuing to die from these viruses because they think that there's a vaccine on the way and that we have therapeutics that are widely available to the public, which they are not. So please stay your ass at home and wear a mask and stop spreading this disease. I'm seeing for the past couple of weeks we flattened it, like it flattened, but now it's going up again because of stupid shit like this. Because President Trump, he's, I'm fine when he clearly was not fine from getting this. He survived, yes, but he wasn't okay. And look at it, his wife was talking about her symptoms, and it didn't sound great, No. So don't think that just because this old man survived, that it's okay to go out to go out and party again, because it's going to keep going up, and we're going to continue to suffer as a nation because people aren't listening because we have somebody that's in the Oval Office that doesn't actually believe in science, that doesn't understand the way anything really works. So,
well, like, we can't really say he survived it since he had all of this experimental drugs that were fucking pumped into him. So
true.
He basically had he had money, basically. That's what it came down to. He had money.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't money, Blue. That was
It's
taxpayer
ours.
money. You didn't pay for. You didn't.
Yeah,
Not a dime came out of his pocket.
Our money.
Yeah, we took the bill.
Walter Reed is basically just like taxpayer funded hospital. It's not like a private hospital. It's not like you know.
It's a military hospital.
Any local hospital or even a county hospital. It's military hospital, and you know your tax dollars certainly pay for it. And again, you know, most people, nobody else is going to be getting experimental treatments that aren't, you know, approved by the FDA. That's just not how the world works. But let's back up on one other quick thing. Remember, none of this was absolutely necessary.
No.
He fucking decided over and over and over again, even after the cautionary tale of Herman Cain, to have as many rallies as he wanted, and you know, close gatherings usually without a whole lot of people wearing masks. That's something he fucking wanted and did over and over again. And it was like Russian roulette. And there was a super spreader event that is entirely this administration's fault and Trump's fault. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Is Blue making a phone call?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got deals to make.
That's a first.
She's not home yet.
What?
Oh, no, if you need to handle that. Sorry. That got me off the roll. But yeah, I mean, we all know it was ugly. And the other thing, just on a lighter side, you goddamn right there was some funny ass fucking memes on this shit. I mean, the memes were about the fucking hypocrisy. And you know, he didn't pass away, but if you're gonna talk all kind of shit about the virus and be dismissive of it and lie about it for months and months and months, and then you eventually get it, the fuck you think the internet is gonna do? You know what I mean? They're not gonna give you a fucking pass.
Yeah.
You know?
You deserve all the jokes.
I understand like the jokes and all that stuff, but it's just like, listen, I didn't wish the guy death, because if that guy would have died, oh my fucking god, our nation would have been fucked for a minute. Like seriously.
I can appreciate that. I really can. And at the same time, I'm also going to say this.
Fuck that guy.
In a lot of ways, fuck the guy. But I'm going to be real. Regardless of someone wishing something, that doesn't like embolden the fucking virus. That's not how, you know, science works. In terms of, if I'm in my home in Montana, and I wish that this would happen to the president, nothing fucking happens. No tangible fucking effect occurs as a result of that. So
no. You're wrong. Thoughts and prayers always work.
Yeah, but it was fucking laughable to me. I was just like, and I shared a whole bunch of memes and jokes and whatnot, but at the same time,
you're on fire.
Yeah, but it's just ridiculous. Your desire for ill will with somebody, you don't have a voodoo doll. There's no superstition or thoughts that are going to make a virus more deadly than it already is. It's going to be what it's going to be, and he got experimental treatment and he survived it. But you know, thoughts about it, they don't mean shit. They don't affect shit. Sorry.
It's wild. I mean, I don't even know how many hours of sleep did you get that night? You were flooding the memes like this. It was epic. Like I was like, I'm here for all of the memes. I was just constantly refreshing, and you were just throwing them out there, meme after meme after. It was good trolling. It was.
I mean, it was good. It was good trolling. But people are like literally out there hoping the guy would die, and I'm just like, And yeah, obviously you're right. You know, Prodigy. All the hopes and prayers that you have about some guy dying, it ain't gonna fucking come to fruition. But if it had happened, you got to think about the consequences to America, and they'd have been fucking dying.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about.
It would have been
like,
I get it.
It would
that's
have
people
been
don't think
a complete shitstorm because technically voting is underway, and
I voted today.
We've had incidences where obviously a president has like passed away, and we know how the power transfer works. However, we were just in like some completely unknown territory where it's like, okay, if we're in the actual election process itself and one of the candidates hypothetically were to have passed away, then what happens with the election? Does it just like it was a bunch of questions that like some people were kind of asking, but some people didn't really know the answer to because it would just been completely unprecedented. But it's just like, okay, because I saw some people saying like you can't have somebody officially on a ballot who's passed away or something.
But I think you can.
I mean, I don't know the actual legitimacy behind it, but we all know that would have been a whole fucking fight in court to begin with, because then they would have been like, oh no, the election shouldn't count, we should get a redo, and that would have been settled in courts, and we would have just been in the wind for months of just not knowing what the fuck to do.
While we're on this topic, go ahead, Blue.
No, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna walk away, but I really hope that he was gonna like suffer from it and like learn from it and like, you know, hopefully make his country better from his experience. But now it's like, fuck you. It's like how can you take shit and make it shittier? And he basically figured that out and fucking is doing that right now. He's basically out there saying that the virus isn't real. He survived it. He's immune. Like even when he did his recent rally, he talked about how he's gonna go down to the audience and kiss everybody, kiss all the mans, kiss all the beautiful women. Not the ugly women, the beautiful women.
He's trying to be Tupac.
Yeah.
Tupac.
He's trying to be like Kim Jong-un, basically. He's trying to be fucking a dictator.
While we're on the same topic, I want to give a special fuck you to Nancy Pelosi during these times. And let me explain myself. All right. So first of all, like while he was, you know, sick or whatever, she talked about discussing the 25th Amendment, which is basically transferring of power from the president to the vice president. What the fuck happened to that? She said it, nothing happened. She just said it for some reason in front of all the cameras. Nothing became of that. Also, a huge fuck you because she continues to play both sides, but she tries to take the moral high ground, but they're playing games with American lives. And what I mean by that is by not passing another stimulus bill for America, because they don't want to get all these little things they want in there because it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect, all right? If President Trump is willing to, or the other side in general, is willing to give you most of the things that you want, at this point, take it, because you went on a goddamn vacation when you should have been sitting there negotiating to get money into people's hands and to getting money to, you know, help with this coronavirus thing. But no, you didn't. You're getting paid to go home on a vacation into your nice homes while people are literally dying and getting kicked out of their goddamn homes, all because you want to get some little piece in there that you need to get in there. People don't care about the little piece that you're talking about. What they need is actual help, and you're not fucking helping. And the fact that you get on TV and you try to make it seem like you're trying to help people because you think you know what's right and everybody's fucking suffering, I can't stand that moral high ground nonsense, which she has no grounds to stand on. I don't know if you guys saw this, but she was talking to Wolf Blitzer, and she was so dismissive and cunty to him about, I know I help people, what do you do? And it's like, you're not helping anybody right now. You're not even doing your job. You are a public servant. And the fact that she tried to go out there and call Andrew Yang a sexist because he called her Nancy once. Are you serious? He calls Joe Biden, who is the vice president to the United States, Joe all the time. Like, who cares if he calls you by your first name? You're not a queen. You're a public servant, okay? You serve us. You don't need a special title. You're not even entitled to a special title because you serve us. And I think that it's about time that these stupid-ass politicians get knocked down a notch and understand who the fuck they work for. It's us. And it's on both sides. And I don't think that the left gets enough of this shit.
Yeah, I will say this. I don't think there should be any limits at all when it comes to the stimulus or relief. I really don't. I think it's ridiculous that we haven't gotten additional money as a country or as citizens. But I don't see why it has to. There's this, it can only be 1.7 trillion versus 2.2 trillion. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I don't see why there should be a cap when we're in unprecedented times. I really don't.
I mean,
it's kind of fucked up. What kind of fucked up is like the whole PPE thing that they did, where they were giving companies money to use to pay for their employees and stuff like that. How many people are coming out for doing fraud of that? Like millions of dollars are being fucking misused for that was supposed to be used for people, and these motherfuckers are out there buying fucking Lamborghinis and Ferraris and shit. It's like they need to give the money to the people and let the people use the money to help these businesses, and not just the businesses who's just going to help themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what's. I mean, I obviously have seen like the headline like 1.6 versus 1.3 trillion and stuff like that. I don't know what is actually in the non-headline part of the bill in terms of like who's getting relief and where this other money is going to. Because what did sort of stick out to me, and I'm not defending her or whatever, because I haven't read the in terms of what actually is included in the stimulus bill, other than the total amount. Because I remember when they first started giving out stimulus money and stuff for like small businesses, and then all of a sudden you see the Los Angeles Lakers getting free money from the government, and all these other companies that are just happen to just get hooked up through the government, while these other actual legit small businesses are getting fucked. Now I don't know if there's something going on in that as well with this new stimulus
Yes,
bill that was,
that's what's happening.
So I don't know if that's what the whole trip up is, but I mean, I think we should sort of look into it a little bit, but obviously there's people that are, I can't hear myself talk to my echo.
Yeah, you're echoing. I don't know why.
It's not me, because I'm in ears, but
there you go.
I
think
can't
it was
literally talk when I hear myself talk.
There you go. I think it was blue.
Okay, but yeah, so I think some stuff does need to maybe be looked into it, but it's not at the point where you need to hijack and hold a gun to the entire American population with the money going on that's not being flowed into people's pockets and homes and stuff like that.
And it's for months. For months. The last stimulus check was like what, 5 months ago, maybe even more than that.
I want to say April, maybe.
Yeah,
April?
it was like it's been like a long time for you to go through there with a fine tooth comb and figure some shit out. But instead, you took a vacation. Both sides, you took a vacation. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it definitely both sides. I mean, you saw, I guess Trump was like, nope, we're not till after the election. I'm not discussing giving any money or whatever like that. And it's just like
no, but after that, hold on,
even,
Stitch. But after that, he literally said, "We'll give you like 1.9 trillion dollars," and then she still said no. She still said no.
It's the whole point of both sides playing this stupid fucking chicken game or whatever. It's like, look outside the window and see what the fuck's going on right now. Like, read the room. Yeah. Or whatever.
There's drastic suffering. I'm with you guys on most of what you're saying. Again, my only thing is, I don't see where the arbitrary, ceiling has to be. And yes, maybe you can look into the details. I will say this. Yes, the Lakers are a $1 trillion huge company in terms of being in the NBA. I get all that. But it's not like there are very few companies that haven't suffered in some way from this economic slowdown of this year. I say just spend all the money. We're in trillions of dollars of debt anyway. Give the money out. I don't like the limit stuff of this particular decimal point is more favorable to this person. Yeah, give it all.
Well, the reason
I just want to make sure the right people get it.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I'm generally against corporations getting it is because these corporations have made, the vast majority of them recently have made record profits in years. Meanwhile, but yet they're pulling down these PPP loans. Like they expect people to have 6 months worth of savings, and all of a sudden in 2 weeks, a corporation that made $3 trillion last year can't survive a month. What?
Yep.
Why is the American taxpayer? Yeah, why is the American taxpayer on the bill for that? Like, why are we footing that bill? We should not be footing the bill for private corporations. They're private. I'm sorry, even public. It doesn't make any goddamn sense to me that we're paying these corporations out of our pockets because of their mismanagement. Give the money to the people. They're the ones who need it. They're the ones who need to survive. I don't care if every single corporation in America dies, as long as families are fed and we can, at least survive.
Yeah, I mean, there are some corporations that are so big and actually in agricultural, food and agriculture, that they could adversely impact Americans' ability to feed themselves. But in general,
not if we're still buying food. If we have enough money to at least pay for food, those places don't go out of business. Because obviously we still need to buy food, right? So that's a guarantee. That's why I said if we have enough money to have essential shit, we'll make sure that the actual essential shit gets taken care of, instead of this extraneous nonsense.
Yeah, Ruth Chris doesn't fall in that category.
Yeah.
But the steaks are good, man.
Hold on. And at the same time, one other thing, because Cakeman just brought it up, I forgot to say it, but a lot of these corporations aren't paying federal taxes. So why are they extracting out of our tax money, out of our tax dollars, and they don't put a single goddamn thing in? Like seriously,
exactly.
It should be illegal. I don't know why it's not illegal. There are churches that got money from PPP loans. How is that legal? They've never once put anything back into our economy.
Zero.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah, that's fat.
The rapper Scarface or something like that. He was one of the guys that got caught for doing that PPE fraud.
So did Kanye
Wait,
West.
Scarface from Houston?
I don't think Scarface did. He needs a kidney.
Scarface got COVID actually and survived it.
And he needs a kidney now. He might die.
Yeah, he needs a kidney. He had it the works. What's her name? What's her name?
Kanye West got it for Yeezy.
What's the girl from? Oh God, who's the boss? Alyssa Milano. She had got COVID early on, and she was talking about her experience with it. She said she lost clumps of hair, like her body was constantly weak, like she had issues getting up and stuff like that. And she's like, it's already been 7 months since she had it, and she's still suffering from it.
We do not know the long-term effects, and so anybody dismissing it that's had it already this year, who still has the possibility of reacquiring this virus, needs to pay close attention to their health and to their doctors. Again, long-term effects are unknown, to be determined.
Somebody just died from being reinfected, by the way.
Yep. Can we switch it up a little bit?
Maurice Faney? He's on Love and Hip Hop.
I don't watch that shit.
I don't know. What's his rapper name? I don't know. I don't know who he is either, but he's a rapper.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't sound like Scarface, but that's all good. Can we get into Vanilla ISIS?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. These, I'm going to call them terrorists because that is what they are charged with. Not militia. Terrorists. Fucking terrorists. Kudos to the fucking FBI for spoiling and preventing a terrorist plot to kidnap and most likely do some serious harm, if not kill, the Governor Whitman, I think is her name?
Whitmore.
Is that her?
I think it's Whitmore.
Whitmore, okay. Yeah. Whitmore. She actually reminds me of a Michigan version of Peggy Carter for some reason. Anyway, she was going to get kidnapped by, I think it was up to 13 terrorists in Michigan, domestic terrorists in Michigan. We're calling it Vanilla ISIS. Wait, did you say titties? What the fuck? I don't know what you're trying to say. Okay, anyway, what say y'all? This was big shit.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Sitch.
No, I was just gonna say it's wild. I think I was driving up to Tahoe or whatever, and I heard this news break on the radio, and I was just like, what the fuck? I was just completely taken aback, and at the same time wondering why this isn't more of a huge national story or whatever. It's that's a big fucking deal. You're arrested for a plot to kidnap a working, acting governor for the state of Michigan. It was 11 or 13 of them. They showed, I guess, from the previous, rallies in terms of liberating Michigan kinds of shit like that some of these people were up on the stage and everything and pissed off at the governor for not opening up the state. And when you read some of the research on the case that was worked, they've been working this case for months. It wasn't like they got a tip and then they did it all within a week or 2 days. They did their research on this group. They had firearms and explosive training and all kinds of just crazy wild shit. This wasn't some fly by the night we're just sitting around the table drinking some beers, let's kidnap the governor. No, they had this plan and they were in motion, training, working out contingency plans, all kinds of crazy shit. They knew where her summer home was, and they actively stopped this crazy thing from fucking happening. So kudos to the FBI, who a lot of times they never get nearly enough credit for that they deserve for a lot of shit that they do.
And it's
especially from the president.
Yeah, it's Whitmer. My bad, not Whitmore.
No problem.
Yeah, you know what's insane to me is that from what I understand so far from these terrorists is that they were mad basically because they had to wear masks and they were thought that it should that y'all got that same vibe.
Yep.
But what's insane to me is that they're not actually mad at all about the police and the police state killing their own citizens.
Nope.
Like, that doesn't hit your radar at all? You're not mad about that? Like, why aren't you mad about that? If just wearing a mask is like you draw a line in the sand, you're a bunch of weak-ass fucking people, okay? That's not tyranny. It's somebody trying to keep you safe and our society safe. What is a serious problem in America is police brutality. And y'all don't seem to give a shit about that. I don't see you motherfuckers at any kind of rallies fighting for actual citizens' rights or anything like that. You're just mad because you got inconvenienced because somebody told you what to do. Like, these people are so weak in America now. It's amazing to me. Like, any sort of small inconvenience for them. Meanwhile, people deal with huge, gigantic inconveniences to this day at the hands of the state, and they just choose to ignore that. But as soon as they get any kind of minor sand in their little clit, they get so angry about it. Meanwhile, there's whole families that have been torn apart from the drug war, whole families that have been torn apart by police brutality, whole families been torn apart by you can name 1,000 different things, but all of a sudden you got to put on a cloth mask and that's your last stand. Are you serious?
Yep.
And we'll talk about what added fuel to the fucking fire.
Well, you talking about President Trump?
Yeah,
Trump?
Yeah,
trying
Trump
to take
tweeted
credit.
Out. Oh, go ahead. What did you say?
Well, trying to take credit, and then he actually talked trash against the governor. It's like there was a plot against her life, and
yeah,
she's the victim.
Yeah, he talked trash about her. I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Like, seriously, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. The fact that he literally was like, she's not doing her job, and it's like, how can this guy get any fucking worse? And but the fact that he tweeted like about 3 different states. I think it was Michigan. I think it was Washington and Illinois. Yeah.
He said to liberate them, and that's literally what they said. They wanted to liberate. They used his words while having this plot, and people are just like, "Oh, it's good to go. It's good to go." Yep. They're just boys will be boys, I guess.
I also got some fucking smoke for the media in general again, because we've talked about this before. I'm gonna fucking say it. Look here. Some of the folks in the media, there's way too many to even fucking count, started wrongfully calling this group militia folks. That is not the fucking case. Just because the people are white or European Americans, whatever you want to call them, does not mean they cannot be terrorists. They were charged with terrorism, and they are a plot to commit terrorism, whatever you want to call it. And that is exactly what kidnapping an elected official, like a governor, fucking is. You're trying to achieve a political outcome through violence, textbook definition of terrorism.
Yes, it is.
I don't know why there was all this fucking hemming and hawing and hand-holding and unease about that. Timothy McVeigh was a fucking terrorist, These guys are fucking terrorists. They are not in the Taliban, but they are terrorists. Deal with it.
Did you see the sheriff from that county with his interview that he gave, where he was just pretty much being like, well, first of all, they were potentially making a citizen's arrest, which in Michigan that's a legal thing to do.
They got
blah 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 blah.
They were going to kidnap somebody.
It is the most wild thing I've ever seen in my fucking life, and he's just like, well. Obviously innocent until proven guilty, but in Michigan you are allowed to make a citizen's arrest, and we know that there are a lot of people that are pissed off at the governor for some of the things that she's done here. So we just need to let the facts come out about blah blah. And I was just like, everyone's head was just like sort of like just turning, like, what the fuck is this guy even like talking about? Like, is he in on this also? It was absolutely wild. I had to like send you guys like the link afterwards.
Yeah, I saw him talk about it. That guy, he needs to be fired immediately. The guy should not be running McDonald's.
It really is. It does remind me of like Louis Anderson from Coming to America.
Oh, yeah.
This week we're mopping floors. Next week is the fries.
But and then before that, we obviously had the appearance of the notorious Fly, the world's most famous fly that happened at the vice president thing. I mean, obviously it was much more calm and more civil than the previous debate and everything, but obviously a fly became the big talking point of the night afterwards, which was hilarious. But that happened like the day before, 2 days before. But yeah, I just want to give the fly some love.
Actually, the fly came back. Did y'all see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
No, it came back with the Supreme Court nominee.
I did.
She got the fly too.
It's fucking hilarious.
Somebody's out there. Go ahead.
Jumping back real quick to the whole PPP fraud thingy. So the rapper who I was talking about is actually Pretty Ricky. So it's Diamond Blue Smith from the group Pretty Ricky that has the fraud stuff going on.
There you go. I will say this on the fly stuff with Pence. And again, it's not always about appearance and all that. I get that. But goddamn, did this motherfucker look bad. It looked like someone nutted in his goddamn eye.
Yeah,
that shit was red and fucking gnarly looking. And of course, the suspicions were running wild that maybe he had the Rona. You know, so far it looks like that isn't the case. But I mean, yo, you don't usually get on national TV with your eye looking that fucked up. So.
Well, he looked all fucked up. He looked like a goddamn zombie the way he was talking.
Yeah.
I think he's the Manchurian candidate, to be honest with you. He could be the Manchurian candidate.
He could be. Yeah. Fucking big. Holy shit. All right.
Okay. You guys see the SNL skit that they did for the vice president's debate on, I think it was like last weekend?
Are you talking about Bill Burr's? Or
I watched the Bill Burr thing.
They did, it was with, oh god, so the week before was a presidential debate. They had Jim Carrey, who was Biden, but then for the vice president debate, they had Maya Rudolph and another one of the actor guys, but fucking Jim Carrey's character played the fucking fly that landed on it. So Jim Carrey played Biden, who teleported into the machine that they used in the movie Fly to Biden's head. So while Jim Carrey's Joe Biden, he starts to turn into Jeff Goldblum as the fucking fly and starts doing all kind of laughs. It was so fucking funny. It was, oh man, it was fucking great.
I missed that.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. It's up on YouTube. But Jim Carrey did a bomb-ass fucking job as Joe Biden. And then he did a really good job as Jeff Goldblum, too.
Well, Bill Burr did a really good monologue. If y'all want to watch, if y'all want to get real uncomfortable, if you're have to be European American, especially if you're a female.
That was fun.
He went deep on some shit. And people were trying to be mad. I'm like, no, don't be mad. Everything he said was pretty much fucking truth.
Did you see his Boston pumpkin beer skit that he did?
No.
I'm drinking pumpkin beer right now, and man, that shit was fucking hilarious. You gotta watch that shit.
You got some was it Buffalo Bills pumpkin beer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still sober, so it's terrible, by the way.
It's a hard time to be sober, man.
Bro,
I commend you.
You don't even know. Oh my god, I got what? It's the 14th. I got like 16 days left.
God damn. Well, you started early too.
I did.
16 or 17.
I don't know.
I guess you got 16.
On November 1st, whenever the fuck that is, I'll drink again.
There you go. Okay. Let's switch it up a little bit. God damn. This Among Us game seems to have taken over the fucking world. Everybody's sus, I think. Am I using that right? Is that what the kids say?
Yeah, dude. Yes.
What is this? I downloaded it. I don't even know what I have. I think Blue and Stitch have been enjoying this. One of you sus. Break it down.
Well, it's this game called Among Us, and I had sort of been seeing like some memes and everything, and hearing people say it's really fun, and I watched a couple like Twitch videos on it just to kind of get the feel on what it is that's going on. And it's a mobile game, or you can play it on PC. You can get it on Steam. I'm not sure how much.
It's $5.
Mobile, $5. On your phone, it's free. And essentially, what it is, it's you join this lobby. There'll be like maybe 10 people. Just
up to 10, yeah.
Yeah, up to 10 people, and you're in this like sort of spaceship or a different map. One of the maps is like a spaceship, and all the little alien or the little astronaut characters are like a different color, like red, black, blue, green, yellow, orange, whatever. And at the beginning of each match, when you go into like the I guess the loading screen, it'll let you know if you're a crew member or an imposter. The imposter's job is to kill all the other crew members without like getting caught and everything.
Yeah.
So the game will start, and on your little side window, it'll give you like a bunch of tasks that you have to complete around the ship. They're just little simple tasks. Like you have to connect like some little wires and stuff, and like electrical. Go over to the engine room, do whatever. But no, there's one person there that's like pretending to be one of you guys, but he'll just kill you. He's got like a one. You can just hit a little button and it'll kill you and stuff like that.
So basically, that there could be up to 3 imposters in a game. So it could be 1, 2, or 3 imposter in a game.
Yeah, you can change the settings on that, and pretty much if you think that somebody is the imposter, you can run to like this like main area, which is like normally like the cafeteria room. You'll hit this like big red button, and it'll call like an emergency. It'll call like an emergency meeting, and it brings everyone to the lobby. And you can't talk while you're in the actual game. Like the chat's disabled, you can't speak to anybody. But then when you go to the lobby, if you're playing on like the computer or have a Discord, you can talk. Or it'll open like a chat window where you can be like, "Yo, Red is being sus or like suspect or suspicious, and he's following me around. I think he's the imposter." Or you can be like, "Yo, I saw Blue actually kill Green. He's the imposter." And
but if everybody's word for their own, whatever.
Yeah, so everyone gets a vote, and to decide like who to either kick off and throw in outer space like through the airlock, or just you'll vote to skip. So you'll be in the lobby for maybe like a minute. The chat will be going crazy, like, "Yo, I know it's Blue, blah 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 blah." And Blue will be like, "Motherfucker, I saw it was you. You killed him," and stuff like that. But no one really fully knows until you're in the lobby, and then each person gets a vote. At the end of the timer, or if after everyone votes, one person will get tossed off into space, and it'll say like, "Oh, Red was the imposter," which means you win, you voted off, or Red wasn't the imposter, and then you go back into the game mode again, and the imposter is running around fucking people up and stuff like that.
One thing with the imposter, so the crew members and the imposters, they all have different like basic skill sets. So the imposter, they can like move around the base faster. They can like go through like they can go through ventilation system to go around to get around faster. When there's a power outage, they can actually still see in the dark, so they can still see where people are. There's some tasks that they can't do. So a lot of the times, some of the imposters will fake their task, like they're doing something when they're actually not. But they also have the ability to sabotage. So like there will be a reactor in the building, and they can sabotage it to where it's gonna fucking explode, and then somebody goes there and deactivate it or whatever. So like they can lock doors and stuff behind people and all this different kind of things. So like there's a lot of like creativity in being an imposter to be able to like pull off these murders. But you can't just like go around killing people. Like a lot of the levels will have cooldowns, so you have to like wait like I don't know, like anywhere from like 30 seconds to like I don't know, like a minute before you can kill again. So as you're running around killing people, you don't want to be like near the body, because if somebody finds the body, they can report it, and then everybody's kind of brought back together to say like, "Hey, I found this body. It was down in the lobby. Stitch was near it last. I think he killed him."
Yeah, and then like obviously when you're dead, you can't talk to the people that are alive.
But you can keep doing tasks, which is funny.
It sounds like it should be incredibly fun to be the sabotage like sus person, or
it is
the alien.
I mean, it's both. Yeah, it's both. It's really fun because it's like, especially if you get with like a group of friends, you're just like, "Yo, I know it's you. You're a piece of shit. Why are you lying?" It's hilarious. I've been watching a lot of like, because I was watching Greg Miller was playing for the first time, and it was funny watching him like get into it and just like accuse people like, "No, I know it's this person. I know it's him. He was following me around, and I just saw him leave the cafeteria, and then all of a sudden Blue's dead. I know it's him." And then people are like, "I think it's you," or whatever. And you're just like, "No, motherfucker, it's not me. I'm the one that found the body." And it's just like complete. It's like an updated version of like the board game Clue, except it's much more updated.
But it's crazy too, because like you can kill somebody and be like, "Oh, hey, I found a body," and everybody's like, "Oh," like I'd be like, "Oh, I found the body. It was this. I saw them run out here." Or you can be like, "Oh, I saw what's name go through the vents. Like I swear to God, it was him." Or you can be like, "Oh, I was hanging out with such and such, and they can vouch for me." So like you gotta like, there's like a strategy to plan it. Because even though if you're an imposter, you don't want to get kicked out, because if you get kicked off the ship, then the crew wins. So you gotta like be very strategizing about it. But then also like, you can be doing your job and doing tasks and still get kicked out because no one saw you around and like, oh yeah, like I didn't see you anywhere, like I think it's you, or you were standing there like this whole fucking time, like there you go, you're getting kicked out into space. So it's a lot of strategy to this game to play it. But I want to play it on a PC, or at least be able to do it with like be able to talk to people, because typing and stuff like I can type on my phone pretty fast, but like a lot of the conversations kind of go way too quick and you end up getting kicked out. Because like I was playing with Stitch earlier, and I swear to God, I thought this motherfucker was the imposter. So I was watching him. I was sitting off to the corner watching him, and he wasn't doing anything. I'm like, oh fuck, it is Stitch. So I started to run and go hit the panic button or whatever, and Stitch somehow got to it before I did, and he was like, oh yeah, it was Blue. He was standing there watching me. He could have fucking killed me. I'm like, no, dude, it was fucking you because you were in half, and he fucking buzzed me out. Turned out it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm all floating his face dead.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. I was like, it wasn't him. They're going to think it's me now.
Yeah, that can happen.
You would have to be playing, I guess, on a PC in order to Twitch it out. Is that right?
I don't know if you can Twitch from your phone.
I don't know.
Yeah, Oh.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if you can Twitch from your phone.
I don't think you can. You probably could with like external shit, but not like just from your phone.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy it on the PC because I want to try the experience of being able to talk.
Well, it's certainly gotten fucking popular. It blew up. I see the memes everywhere. I downloaded it and I want to try it. Maybe
the thing that's crazy is that this game is 2 years old.
God, like, how did people start blowing up like this then?
I think it's just like because of TikTok. No, I think people on TikTok started playing it and it started to blow up.
This is like Fortnite. Yeah. Like Fortnite was not popular for a long time because it wasn't even the same game when it first came out. It's supposed to be like some zombie game where you build like a base, and every night, that's why it's called Fortnite, because every night the zombies would come and try to take over like wherever you were, and the game flopped until they had an online component.
Yeah,
but 2 years? That's
yeah. A lot. So if you have the game Jackbox, a version like an earlier version of this game is one of the games on there. And you play with your phone. You interact with your phone through a website as well as play on the PS4, the Xbox. You can play on it. So if you're going to Twitch, I think you can Twitch it from there. But it's different because you can sit. I think you can play with. How many people can you play on your mobile? Is it just 4?
It's 10. It's 10.
Yeah. So I think on the console it's like I think it's only 8 maybe, and probably it's 10 too. But still, you can play with a lot of people.
I think 10 on the PC. I've seen 10.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think they've done some updates to the game to where now TikTok's made it a huge thing.
Well, they're already working on Among Us 2, which I think is going to be pretty dope. But I think there's an update coming to Among Us, the first one, that's supposed to add some new cool features.
Nice.
I've already seen, was it Rule 42 on this already? It's already crazy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but the memes that come this shit's fucking great.
Hilarious.
It's changed the vocabulary with the youngsters, and I appreciate that. You know, calling me sus.
And they didn't even have death in people.
Prodigy, you are sus though.
Oh, how dare you! More food and memes for you.
Oh no! Extra sus. Oh no.
All right, Old Ninja, I know you were off of here for a minute. Let's stay with gaming just a little bit. Are you enjoying the Star Wars Squadron? Yay or nay?
Oh yeah, man.
Star
Wars Squadron, man. I didn't bust at least 3-4 times on the first playthrough. It's crazy. I mean, if you've ever played the PC games, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and then X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, it takes the mechanics of those games, puts it in with basically the graphics of today, and then you get this like crazy like hybrid game. It's really well done. I mean, you can play as either faction. You can be rebels or empire. Each ship is its own class, so you have fighters, interceptors, bombers, and then a support ship. You can customize your ships. When you're playing the game, you're not just like flying around and whatnot. You actually have to manage each system. You manage your speed, you manage your firepower, you manage your shields. On the consoles, It's pretty quick. You can actually toggle individual pips on how much energy you want to provide and whatnot. It is a team-based game. You do need to communicate. I mean, you work way better if you can communicate with your team and attack, whatnot, because it's 5-on-5.
Wait, is it 5-on-5? Okay.
Yeah, it's 5-on-5, but you also have AI components, so it feels like a much larger battle. So each team has AI helpers with you, but your team is supposed to be the aces, quote unquote, of the squad. So everything else is cannon fodder. You either are attacking or defending. You either attack. You have a certain amount of time to attack capital ships. You also have a support ship that attacks. If your support ship dies or it gets exploded, then the other team goes on the offensive. They try to take out your support ships. They bring in their own their ship to help, and it goes back and forth. The goal is to take out your capital ship. You can take out your capital ship. You can take out subsystems, shields, targeting, tractor beams, or whatnot. It seems pretty simple at first, but there's a lot of intricacies in the game. Like I said, it's a great throwback. A lot of people compare this to the Starfighter Assault from Battlefront 2, which was probably the better parts of that game. It is kind of like that, but not arcadey. This is more involved. This has been the game a lot of people been waiting for. It's a $40 game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's $39.99 for the game. Ian Fletcher, Fleischer, I believe that's the creative director and director for the game. He says this is a complete game. This is what we're doing. We didn't plan on DLC. Go ahead.
Do you like it? Because there's been a few Star Wars games that have come out. I know you love them all, but if you were to rank them, do you like this more than Battlefront 1, 2, and Fallen Order? Do you like it more than all of those?
No, I don't like this more than all of them. But this is definitely is better than the first Battlefront that came out in 2015. This is much better than that. Fallen Order is this is a flight simulator in space.
Okay.
So it's hard to compare that to Fallen Order, because Fallen Order is a really, really good game, but it's kind of like Dark Souls meets Star Wars.
Is it like Thailand? It's like the old school PC game Thailand Fighters?
Yeah, it's like that, but it's current gen. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can they have daily, just like all the current games, you have daily objectives. If you want to, you get credit for it, and then you can unlock, helmets and cosmetics for your ships. There's a lot of different loadouts you can do. You can experiment with the different loadouts, see what you like. I guess on the PS4 and the Xbox One, I know Blue was talking about Ace Combat. They have the flight stick, so you can use that flight stick for the game. So it works with that. The game is also made for VR. I've been having a lot of fun with this game. It is very strategic. I mean, it does have a dogfight mode. It's got a fleet ship battle mode, and there's a story component. And the story weaves into the current Star Wars lore, in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. So it takes place in those kind of that storyline there. So there's characters from the books that are in the game. They talk about characters from Alphabet Squadron. They actually talk about Alphabet Squadron. They talk about some stuff from Inferno Squad, which is Battlefront 2, and there's an Inferno Squad book. So a lot of that lore is in there. Even if you're not into the books, just passing mention, it's not going to take away from the game. But it's still cool that it still weaves into all that. But this is definitely if you're into flight simulators, this is the game to have. If you're playing with friends, be mic'd up, be a team player, know your role in the thing, get good. It's gonna take a while to get used to the controls, because controls are legit. I mean, they pull out moves like the move that Poe Dameron does in The Last Jedi. They want you to master that move in order to be successful. Yeah, there's a lot of.
He's the best pilot in the galaxy.
Yeah, they want you. They want you to be the best squad in the galaxy. So squad up and get good. Know your role in the squad. Build your squad around your guys' play style. I'm having a lot of fun. I do want DLC, but I don't think that's gonna come. The director said it's probably not.
That's why the director
said. Yeah, I mean, the director said he didn't want to do like what they did at Battlefront and be like, hey, this is part of the game. Later on, you're going to get more of the game and more. And he's like, no, you're going to get one complete game and that's it. If the numbers do really well, then they go to EA will probably call them back like, hey, people really like this game. We're doing good numbers. Can you guys add to this game? And that's just a talking point. But at this point in time,
put in loot boxes?
There's no plan for DLC.
They're gonna put in loot boxes if they do that. That's probably the reason why the guy doesn't want to do it. I mean, it's EA. Come on, they're assholes.
So, but yeah, Squat for a $40 game. This is practically a steal in my opinion. It's a really great game, especially if you're into flight sims. If you love X-Men versus TIE Fighter, this is the game for you.
Goddamn, that's a ringing endorsement. I like it.
All right, so let's keep it on gaming for a second. There's two things I want to talk about real quick. The first one would be that Borderlands 3, the Bloody Harvest is back. So if y'all played it last time, it's a really fun free DLC that basically adds into the haunt thing. It's like their Halloween themed thing. It's just as fun as it was last time. It's pretty much exactly the same as it was last time, but it's still just as fun. And I want to get another Ghost Call and another Fearmonger shotgun. So if y'all play Borderlands 3, definitely hop on that. Play all their other paid for DLC has been excellent as well. I think Borderlands 3 did a really good job with their DLC and their free content over the last year, because it's been over a year since it's been out. It came out September of last year.
September.
Yeah, they have not stopped coming out with content. It's been every at least one new piece of content every single quarter, at least one.
Yep. Agreed.
Also, speaking of DLC, Ghost of Tsushima Legends comes out in 2 days. So it's going to add in some much needed content to this game, because I don't know if y'all were like me, but after I beat the game, I was like, I want more. And like, I was surprised when they actually announced they have a new game plus, a new multiplayer game. I think they're doing PvP as well. No, it's co-op. Co-op multiplayer. But and there's different classes. So you can be a samurai, a hunter, a ronin, or an assassin. So, and it looks like they're going to have like some crazy like new levels of just like raids, and it looks like a lot. And there's new loadouts, there's new weapons, so it looks like it's gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to that in 2 days.
Hell yeah. Semi-gaming related, but with Capcom, goddammit. Did y'all see the motherfucking casting for this Resident Evil reboot movie?
Yeah, I did.
Holy fuck. Yeah, so you know the ones back in the day, Mila Jovovich did like 9 of them. Most of them were kind of mid-range, popcorn movies.
Mid-range?
Some of them were shit. The full stop.
Let's be real. Most of them are shit, except for like the first one.
Maybe the first 2 or 3, but in any event, they weren't great. They weren't. But they're completely rebooting this and kind of making it looks like the Resident Evil games, in terms of going to Raccoon City, gonna have Jill Valentine, gonna have the Redmond, Chris Redfield rather, and the casting looks fucking interesting. They got old girl, what's her name? Her real name is Hannah John Kamen. She was the ghost Redbone in that Ant-Man movie.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, she's bad.
Yeah. She's also in Ready Player One. She's like the head henchman in that.
Yep. And then Robbie Amell, who's the brother of Stephen Amell, right?
He's the cousin. They're cousins.
Okay. He's gonna be Chris Redfield, and he looks fucking just like him. I mean, it looks like they're fucking putting some time and care into this.
I mean, a little bit.
He was in Arrow too, right? Chris's cousin. Or what show was he in? I know he was in something. Or he was in
He's in
Umbrella.
He's in
Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, he was the guy with the fire on his head, Firestorm, right?
Yeah. He's in the Flash as Firestorm. He's the first Firestorm.
Yeah,
he dies.
I'm just saying this looks like it could, just based on the casting alone, it looks like Capcom may be giving a shit about a movie, a Resident Evil movie.
Hold on, I thought this was a series and not a movie.
It says it is a rebooted movie from what I see here.
Yeah, I thought this was a franchise.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. No, well, I might be wrong. It's on Netflix, and it might be a TV series. My bad.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be interesting. It's interesting because they also have another Arrow alum, Neil McDonough. He played Damien Dark in both Legends he's in Arrow, Legends, and The Flash. He's coming back, or he's coming into the fray as Dr. Birkin. He's Sherry Birkin's father. He's also if you played the remake, he's the mutated scientist that is fucking shit up. That you literally have to beat at the end because he mutates strong as fuck.
Yeah, I'm fucking hopeful. I'm hopeful on it. At least the casting has me excited.
Yeah, I mean, the casting looks good. I know the director. So the director of the movie / series or whatever, he says it will be set in the year 1998, which is the
That's
year
accurate.
which is the year that the events took place, and then we're going back to Raccoon City, and he wants to focus on the mansion where everything started, not like how they did it in Mila Jovovich. I mean, there's the mansion at first, but he wants to go deep into the Wesker family lore, how the Birkins are involved, all the other families that are kind of involved. It should be interesting. I know people are asking for Rebecca Chambers. She may show up in this as well. We'll see.
But I feel like in the Mila ones, and it's been a long time since I've seen them, and most of them were shit. I feel like there was no Jill Valentine and there was no Chris Redfield.
Yes, there was. Oh, so check this out. Jill Valentine shows up in part 2 in the Apocalypse. She gets captured, and you don't see her again until part 5 or something, and then in part 4 or 5, you see Chris Redfield, who's played by Wentworth Miller, who from Prison Break. We also get Ali Lauder as Claire Redfield. We see her, I think, in part 2 and on, and then we get all these other characters that aren't even in. Like Mike Epps' character is in it for a minute. We get Ashanti.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we get Ashanti. Yeah, Ashanti's in part 2 or 3. We get, was it the kid, K, what's her name? K-Smack or something? K-Smart? Something? K-Start?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, we get some of that. She should have been Sherry Birkin, but we do get Ada Wong, and we do get...
I remember Ada.
We get Ada, we get Leon for a minute, we get Carlos for a minute.
They were shitty. They weren't enough.
They weren't even their characters. They're in it for a second, they die. We get Michelle Rodriguez though. I don't even know who she was.
In the first one.
She's in the first one, and she re-shows up in the 6th or 7th one. Or some shit.
Or she's cured or some shit.
No, she's not even real. She's like a clone or hologram or some shit like that. I don't know. I can't believe I haven't watched all these fucking films.
Yeah, you paid attention now.
Yeah, well, my roommates, because it's Halloween and because, zombies, monsters and shit, we watched, the first and second one. I'm just I forgot. Fucking watch this shit. It's fucking terrible.
Well, Resident Evil was Michelle Rodriguez's 4th movie. That's right off of coming off of the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's 2002. Man, that was 18 years ago. If he had a kid back then, they'd be an adult.
Yeah, pretty much.
What I think. So. Hold on, Prodigy posted this and it fucked me up. We are closer to 2050 than we are to 1990.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
That's sad as fuck.
We're old. We're old.
Jesus Christ.
And we know we're old.
Yeah.
Stitch, why are you mad at Gal Gadot for working? What is going on here? You've been talking your shit about her not working for so long, and now she's got a new role, and you still talking shit. Why do you hate this woman? What has she done to you?
I'm happy for her. During the pandemic, ain't nobody had no job. She put out that great video where she got roasted for, where she was,
my god,
singing along and having a nice little kumbaya, and then she went back into her.
I remember that shit. She was horrible.
Yeah, went back and hid under her couch and everything, but I guess she got a role. Congrats for her. I'm happy for her. She won an audition. She can add something to her IMDb page where you can actually scroll down a little bit and see some more of her works.
What extra?
So good for her. She's playing Cleopatra. I guess it's I forgot how they described it. Is it a biopic or how? I'm not sure how they described how they were going to produce the movie, but it's about Cleopatra. I mean, some people were mad because they're like, oh, it needs to be a black woman from Africa, but they aren't in touch with history because Cleopatra was technically, I guess, Greek, or it had some was from or either her parents or something like that, where she wasn't dark skinned.
She was an immigrant.
Yeah, well, she wasn't like dark African, like some people, I guess, maybe thought that didn't really know anything about Cleopatra and everything. So, some people were mad about that without, I guess, fully reading into their history books. But I guess she's got a role. I don't know when it's supposed to be filming or not, but I just wanted to give Prodigy a little bit of happiness in his life. That the woman he's been simping over and capping for, she got another job or whatever. She showed that she can actually read some lines and stuff like that, and rather than have a slow motion panning camera around her in a tight ass armor plated bikini.
So this Cleopatra film will be directed by Patty Jenkins, who's directed the first two Wonder Woman films.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense then. Of course. So it was a charity job. I take that back. I take that back. Oh man. Sometimes you just gotta look out for your friends or whatever. You're like, oh, what happened was Gal was probably in the lunchroom, depressed because Wonder Woman ain't coming out to movie theaters anytime this fucking year.
Like all movies.
Now, some of them keep saying they're going to come out in theaters. I'm like, yeah, right. If you want a movie to fail, put it in the fucking theaters right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're looking at you, Tenet.
So Gal probably walked up to her with puppy dog eyes saying, well, Patty, I ain't got nothing to do. You got some work. I'll suck that dick for some cheeseburgers.
How dare you?
Got that Wonder Woman job.
Disrespectful.
Damn,
fucking hatred.
Disrespect.
Oh man, fluid all on it.
Oh man.
I'm happy for Gal. Some people are obviously, because of the old school Liz Taylor and the ethnicity stuff, with Egypt always gets really complicated. I guess apparently, according to these most historians, she was of Greek Macedonian descent, but obviously Gal is Israeli. Obviously, I want a good movie. I'm not going to get into the ethnicity of Cleopatra, someone who's been dead for hundreds of years per se, but I'm cautiously optimistic that it'll be fun. I think Patty can direct.
So this is one thing that I would like to just put out there when people talk about, holy shit, my daughter's playing Among Us. That's hilarious. She's playing on her PC right now. Right. Anyway, is when you talk about like Egypt, it's like, yeah, they weren't obviously pale skin, but they weren't all dark skin either, because, hey, for everybody out there, Egypt is part of the Middle East. Like, it was a whole mix of ethnic groups, and they weren't all like super dark skinned like most Africans. So if you actually look at the Middle East, it extends into a whole bunch of countries in Africa, and they all don't look African as far as like the traditional looking African that most people think of. So yeah, it shouldn't be somebody super white, but having somebody that's of, Middle Eastern descent playing Cleopatra isn't a far-flung idea, because she wasn't really Egyptian anyway.
Yeah, the only, you're not wrong on that. There was a time period, though, I think it's 24th or 25th dynasty or something like that, where the Kush, which were definitely a true African, dark-skinned group of people, did take over Egypt. and you do see that in the Egyptian hieroglyphic records and whatnot as well. There are some that are lighter skinned that have are in the hieroglyphs and in the museums or in the pyramids. There are some that are very dark skinned. Just to be really clear.
Yeah. I mean,
some of them were the Nubians and the Kush.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you go back far enough, obviously they're all dark skinned. Everybody, if you go back far enough, you're all gonna be dark skinned. But when it comes to like that time period, having people that weren't like super dark skinned in the same place, it wasn't far flowing. It's not the whitening of African history. That's the way that it was and is today. So
yeah, I mean, Gal Gadot is Israeli, is she not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is Middle Eastern. So.
I mean, she would.
I'm surprised you haven't brought up Forbes magazine comment about her.
Wait, what?
Eh?
Yeah. So Forbes has Gal Gadot at the for highest paid actress. She's number 3.
Look at that. How you feel about that, Stitch? You happy for her? You gonna wish her congratulations?
I need to read the bottom line on that. How you highest paid actor when you ain't explain that? No, yeah.
Because they already paid her for her role. That's how it works.
Argue with Forbes?
I want to hear the lines, and underneath they put it. They put a big headline, and they'd be like, "Oh, for this." What are the details?
Well, number 1 is Sofia Guevara, which is like, I guess she's a judge on America's Got Talent. But other than that, she's making $43 million a year.
No, you know what it is? It's from that TV show of hers. The
Modern Family ended.
Modern Family, yeah, but she's getting paid syndication money.
Exactly, syndication is stupid money, and it's money for things you've done in the past. You ain't even doing shit right now and getting paid.
Yeah. Angelina Jolie is number 2, Gal 3, and then Melissa McCarthy's number 4. With Meryl Streep being number 5, like, what is she doing?
Holy shit, Gal Gadot got paid $20 million for her role in Red Notice. I didn't even hear about that. And it's
I don't know about
it's
that
a Netflix film. I don't even know if it's out yet.
Yeah, it could be coming later this year, maybe. Wow. We'll fucking see.
Well, this is it's funny how fucked up this list is because no movies are really coming out. Like typically, you would expect some of these actresses to get paid more, but like literally, part of what they would be getting paid is through obviously film sales. And they're just all you're seeing right now is like them getting paid to star in the film. They're not getting any like residuals for shit. I mean, I would venture to say that Gal Gadot had Wonder Woman come out that she would have eclipsed Angelina Jolie like easily.
Yeah,
because
I can see that.
Yeah, so it's kind of a messed up list at this point.
Yeah. Would she have equipped ScarJo?
Hey,
ScarJo's not in the top 5, so let's just put it out there like that.
I mean, it would have been fun to see that in 2020. No Rona. I still think there's good buzz for Wonder Woman 84, but
ScarJo is not even in the top 10.
How do you feel about that, Stitch?
No, ScarJo stay the queen.
She stayed broke. She stayed broke.
Yeah,
she ain't got no shit.
Bayless,
she had to sell her red bottom shoes.
Type stats.
Okay, I gotta say something. Speaking of kind of ScarJo, have y'all seen this shit with the fucking Avengers game? Goddammit! Holy shit!
I tried to warn y'all. I tried to warn y'all.
She's not in it. Her C movie likeness is almost in it.
Yeah.
See, you're sexist. Why isn't it about the Hulk? Because the Hulk is
fine. Every single one of the Avengers is getting this smoke. Dude, do you realize that game came out in fucking September? On PC, which you know how fucking popular PC is all over the fucking planet, you can't even find 1,000 players online a fucking month and some change after launch for a AAA game. Do you know how fucking pathetic that is?
That's bad.
That is a fucking flop. There were people arguing with me for fucking all goddamn year long with this bullshit. Y'all gonna taste these fucking L's. That's a hard flop. Come on now.
Yeah, and I gave it a chance and I played the beta and I was like, all right, the beta has some serious flaws and if they fix them, it might be worth playing. But they didn't fix any of that shit. There's people that I talk to and I'm like, they have this loot system, but it's not really a loot system. It doesn't really change anything that you do. And they try to convince me that, yeah, I'm like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't change the way you look, so that's laziness, first of all. And then second of all, like, I don't understand like what all this stuff does, and they don't seem to affect the way that I play the game. So why is this even in the game? And that's beyond like the glitchiness and all this other nonsense, and the fact that the end game content is kind of trash, you know.
Well, it's even worse than, I mean, Anthem obviously bombed too, but that was a new IP. We all fucking know the Avengers worldwide.
Well, it's a new IP though, as well as far as like a game goes.
Well, see, but a new IP would be a truly new property that we're not familiar with that as its own intellectual property. We can't. This is a new game franchise. I agree.
Yeah, I give it. Okay, but, I'll say that then. New game franchise.
Yeah, but the Avengers as an IP, Jesus fucking Christ, man! And this is the lowest reviewed AAA game of 2020 so far. And it seems like Miles Morales, from a comic book standpoint, is going to body the ever-loving fuck out of this game in less than a month.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh.
Yes, it will.
Kind of going back really quick. Did we talk about this fly?
Yeah,
like,
we did.
Yeah, we did. You were off.
Okay. I was having technical difficulties. Speaking of which, did y'all see the news? Going back to Miles really quick. Did y'all see that you get a companion as Miles Morales? Like, this is like new shit.
So good.
Like
so
a mech?
good.
Yeah, you get some crazy ass fucking companion as Miles. I guess. Is it optional? I think it's optional.
Well, for
what is companion? You get like a girlfriend?
No, you get Spider Cat.
Game Informer.
Let's break it down.
Game Informer, I guess, gave a preview of their monthly magazine, and I guess it's going to be themed around the Miles Morales Spider-Man game for PS5 coming out, and I guess less than a month or whatever. And they showed some of the new costumes that come with it. With the last Spider-Man game that came out, you had like 25 different outfits you could choose from. Yeah. So it was awesome. So they sort of teased us and showed a couple of the Miles Morales, I guess, spider outfits that you can have on, which look really cool. And they showed a couple little like mini animations of him fighting. And I guess in one of these outfits, you have a backpack on, and there's like a cat or a kitten in your backpack or whatever. And the kitten is like a sort of little companion thing. It'll, I guess, on one of the finishing moves, it'll kind of swipe at the dude's face or something like that. But
it's Spider Cat or something like that, right? It has a name.
Okay. I didn't even. I just saw I didn't even see like the description of it. I just saw like people posting gifs of it and stuff, and I was like, dude, I can't fucking wait. This is
yeah.
It's gonna be done so nice.
I was watching. There's actually like captured video of like you or Miles with his backpack, and you see a cat in the back, but then you see him do a finishing move, and the cat comes out of the backpack and be slapping people in the face. The cat has a costume, so I was like, "What the fuck?" And people were showing panels of when Spider-Cat was out in the comics or whatnot. So it is a definite thing. So.
Yeah, look this up.
I'm so impressed and excited. Insomniac needs to fucking hurry up and make it November for this one to be released, because it seems like it's going to do a whole lot of bodying of other games.
Is it coming out on the PS4 as well? There's going to be a PS5.
It's both.
PS4, okay. Yeah, it's on both.
But I gotta get that 4K gameplay though, because the shit they show looked amazing.
Yeah, speaking of 4K gaming, so y'all know I have a PS5 on order. So I ordered a new 4K TV, and I was waiting a little bit because I knew that Prime Day was coming up. So let me just get to the point first. Prime Day fucking sucks again. Like, I don't understand. Like,
it's like a clearance sale.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. And they're like, I wanted to get a decent TV, like a 4K, 55-inch TV for like under $1,000. It's possible. I did it, but it wasn't through like a Prime Day sale. It was just like a normal buying stuff. Like, they put stuff on sale that was dumb. Like, usually, I remember when Prime Day first came out, you could go to like the game section, and there was like a bunch of games that you could buy on there for cheap.
Yep.
This year, just like last year, it's just a bunch of stupid game accessories. Like, I don't care about a new keyboard. I don't care about a new headset. I don't care about charging whatever. I care about actual video games. All right? Like, they had like it was like 3 that I can think of, and they weren't great games. And all the TVs that were on sale were like the super high end TVs that were like $500 off, but it's still like $3,000. I'm like I don't really care about these TVs. I just want something that's a cheap 4K TV that has HDR10, that can play 4K at 60 frames per second at least. I found one. It's a TCL 6 series. If y'all are wondering, that's a good one. And so is the Hisense like 8 series or whatever. If you're looking for a cheap panel for under $1,000, that's a true 4K TV. Just go one of those. The TCL 6 series or the Hisense 8 series.
You said it was under 1,000?
Yeah. I got it for like $650, and it's a 55 inch. So it's like a no-brainer. But I was hoping that one of those would be on sale for Prime Day because obviously it'd be easy way to make money, right? It's just high volume sales. But no, like they put on sale all these super high priced panels, which I'm like, read the room, guys. Nobody has money. Like what the hell? Like, nobody's gonna look for very few people are gonna buy like high-end TVs right now during this economic downturn. I don't understand like the whole point of that, and like a whole bunch of stuff was just like another disappointment. It's like a bunch of like stuff you would find in, like a junk bin. So get your act together, Amazon. Fix it next year for real.
I didn't quite understand why people were trolling, and now I get it.
I was looking for some like old man adult shit. I was looking for a carpet cleaner. Oh. And I did find one, but it's sold out.
Yeah.
I tried looking for shit too, and it's like, dude, there was nothing on there that was either a little bit interesting for me at all. Like, so I bought a vacuum robot I bought it before Prime Day, but it's like they only had like one that was available, and it was like a shark, and it was like it wasn't anything I wanted, so. I don't know. I just felt like Prime Day just missed out on this year.
That's too bad. That's really fucking too bad.
Yeah. Well, actually, I almost kind of don't feel bad because, like, buying a bunch of stuff during Prime Day. Another read the fucking room is that they're going to have like all these people have to work during COVID-19 conditions, and they're already, kind of overworked to begin with. So I'm actually kind of glad that it kind of sucked. So. Hopefully this will lessen the spread of people being stressed out during COVID or possibly getting COVID because somebody's got to ship all that shit out. So.
Yeah, I just saw people were paying respects to Optimus Prime for Prime Day because I was just like, what the fuck's going on? And then like I thought it was just funny because people were pissed about Prime Day that they were like, well, R.I.P. Optimus Prime. Like, why we're here type thing. I was just like, what the hell? I just thought it was funny.
All right, we going to get into that craft?
Yeah, we missed basically 2 weeks of it, right? I mean, we can talk about whatever, whichever week you want. The last one was, well, we could talk about Tulsa or I Am. I think I Am was one before that, right? No, it was the fucking creepy one. Yeah, no, it was the creepy one. Nightmare Fuel. Yeah, so y'all go whichever one you want. Go ahead.
I see someone's gonna have to give the review because I put that deep in my horror box of like shit I'm personally scared of, so I try not to relive that.
Look, D got spit on by some magic racist cops, and all of a sudden a offensive racial stereotype caricature from I forget the book. I can't remember.
Good Times Cabin.
Oh,
yeah. Came to life, and these twin girls. They actually have names. Fuck, I did the research last week, and I forgot it all this week.
Aren't they dancers? They're dancers, aren't they?
Yeah, but the characters have names.
Topsy and Bopsy.
Topsy and Mopsy or something like that.
Yeah. They're demonic. They're evil racist caricatures. And they're dancing better than fucking Thriller. Yes, I said better than Thriller. All through fucking Chicago, chasing after D.
How dare you?
That's not debatable. They were. The court. That's not even a question. Like that was some. The actresses that fucking played those creepy motherfuckers. They deserve something. Like whatever the top choreography, makeup, whatever. Give them all of the awards or whatever.
That
they were on some cringe shit.
When the cop was doing his little spell or whatever, like just that scene of the cops like stopping the girl and she running down an aisle. I was like, oh my god, they're about to rape this little fucking kid. Like I was thinking about that. Like, oh my, they're about to do something terrible to this girl, and they basically put a fucking curse on her that was fucking scary as hell, basically.
Yep.
And I had to go and look up to see those characters' words too, because I never heard of those.
Well, the thing that tripped me out was Dee is not able to, because of the curse, explain that they are chasing after her. And so, but Dee is brilliant, just like her mama, Hippolyta. And I guess she's doing some drawing. She figures out that she can maybe draw it to help explain it a little bit. But them things are chasing after her the entire time. And she even confronts the cops that did it. And she gives no fucks. Dee is like bold as hell. She's not afraid of nothing.
She didn't just confront him. She fucking spat on him. She was like,
"Yeah,
fuck you, cop."
Holy shit."
He was shit.
Man, it's just that was my big takeaway from 2 weeks ago. Those things are scary. I don't want to go to bed right now. Let me watch some HGTV.
Yeah, I had to watch Rick and Morty after that.
Got chills.
Yeah.
Especially like when it was walking like up the stairs for the subway platform and shit, I was like, the music started playing. I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I was like, what the fuck? And then the way they were just like popping and locking and all kinds of stuff, and then the whole backwards bend, I was like, oh, fuck no, hell no.
You know what these girls remind me of? You remember that scene from The Wiz where they're in the subway and that guy has those little accordion-looking monster things? They slowly start getting bigger and bigger. Like, that scared the shit out of me as a kid, and that's basically what these little girls did.
Mm-hmm.
They were fucking freaky. But also, when in that episode, we got to Korean girl show back up.
Oh, yeah.
She comes and visits.
Gia.
Yeah, Gia, she shows up at, Letty's house, or whatever. And she's talking about how, like, she came because she's still basically in love with Tick and all of this.
Why are you mad, Prodigy?
Okay, yeah, let me tell you why I'm mad, Stitch. People got on Al Gore's internet talking all kind of shit about Tick. Hold the fuck up.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Gia blew up the goddamn spot. Tick's had a happy relationship with a pregnant woman, his girlfriend, and Gia comes into this house, this happy home and shit. I mean, like, there was no need for Gia to go inside and blow up his fucking happy home and shit. Yes, Tick got rude because this woman is now talking to his pregnant girl. Like, Gia blew up the spot. There's no doubt about the fact that she blew up the spot. We can have a conversation at a park. We can have the conversation at a museum. We don't have to have it at the home of my girlfriend that's pregnant with my child.
I think it was actually that part of the whole show actually was kind of a weird part for me. So first, I think that the reason why she came is probably to save his life and possibly her life too, Letty and the kid. I think she knows about that possibly.
Maybe.
But another thing that didn't make sense to me is why Letty got so mad.
Yeah,
because
like,
Tick.
I think it was jealousy, right?
Well, no, because Tick
hold
on.
So I know,
wait. Tick talked about her before. He said that he was in Korea, he fell in love, and then they like broke apart or something like that. And it's like, why did she get so mad about her showing up to Tick? It didn't make any sense.
I thought Tick withheld some aspects of their relationship in terms of her, the fox,
the fox,
that she's Naruto, and that maybe trying to kill, and that she was still in love with him.
Well, that's not on him. That her anger against him was just like it didn't make sense to the story. So
yeah,
I agree with you though.
I'm still Team Tick.
Well, yeah, Tick wasn't like secretly writing her love letters, like saying like, "Oh, come visit," like trying to make her some side chick or whatever like that.
Well,
so
but he did call her though a few times.
Yeah, he did call. Yep, this is true.
He did call her up, and she was like, "I told you to call her up," and she was like, "I told you not to go."
And she told him. She even asked him, "Why are you calling?" No, he called her. He literally put the phone down next to him and he dialed, and then he listens to her answer, and she says, "Tick, told you not to go back," and he hangs up.
That one a booty call though.
Yeah, that's some stalker shit. She flew 4,000, 5,000 goddamn miles from Korea to Chicago and showed up at his house.
It's because she knows how he's gonna die. That's the reason why. I think you guys kind of missed that. But she knows how he's gonna die. That's why she showed up.
I get that, but if Tick isn't home, you don't just roll up in there.
I think they're gonna wrap it up. I think they're gonna show exactly why she showed up, because there's like she knew that he's gonna die, and that's why he called her back again. Is because it said die on his. I think it was inside of his ring, and he was like, "How did you know?" And that's when she came, because she was like, "Oh, I guess it's happening." Because she's supernatural too, so I think it's like that supernatural shit is gonna like revolve around her in the next episode. The next episode is the final one.
Yeah, they have to clean that up. They have to clean her arc up. I'm with you on that. Yeah, but I didn't think Tick did anything wrong. Fucking yelling at her.
Oh no.
You know, that was just kind of weird to me. But
well, for Lefty to yell at him, I didn't think she deserved. She shouldn't have done that. It's like he didn't have control of her popping up.
Yeah. But let's go to the most recent fucking episode from this fucking Sunday. Goddammit. Just like with Watchmen, we are back in Tulsa during the 1921 Black Wall Street massacre, riots, whatever you want to call it. What y'all think of this episode?
Yeah, I think this time it was even more fucked. So Watchmen, the first time people watched or heard about, most people heard about the Tulsa massacre. It wasn't very long, and the shock value wasn't as extreme as it is in this episode. This episode, the shock value of what happened was like way more extreme because they go in way more in depth. And not only was like the in-depth part about like the actual the race riot that happened where all these black people got murdered by white people, but it was also about character development with Montrose. That character development of like showing why he's such a broken person in that episode. Like, I mean, Tick went from basically fuck you to damn, you stole my dad.
Wait, did you guys even cover that part about basically Tick's dad coming out saying like, I might not be your father?
Oh yeah, well we didn't talk about it, but we're getting there.
That shit was like, fuck, really?
Yeah.
Like, just go jump in real quick. So Tick's father basically told him that he might not be his father because him and his uncle messed around with his mom around at the same time, and it turns out that his dad is actually gay, so it could be a chance that Tick isn't his son, and Tick was pissed off about that. So yeah, back to the past.
well, just to add on to that, there was another layer. Tick was a victim of parental abuse. I'll just call it out. Like his dad went way, or Montrose, whether he's his biological dad or not, went way over the fucking line. And of course, it's a generational thing because Montrose got his ass fucking beat, mostly for being, as they would call in those days, sissy, and he took it out on Tick, and was very, very fucking abusive to him. And Tick was like, how could you, I took all those ass whoopings and you're not even my fucking real dad?
Yeah.
Like, that was powerful shit.
Yeah, but then showing like where he got it from, where like his dad was whooping his ass, probably even worse. It was just like, man, like watching him go through it. Go ahead.
Dude, that one scene where the dad is like, give me a switch, man. I had PTSD. I had PTSD or whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, I fell onto the ground. I was like, I don't switch to get mama.
Yeah, I think we all did. And I think what's powerful is that is our introduction to Tick's potential grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Or it is his grandfather because they're brothers, so it is his grandfather. But that is our introduction. We hear him yelling, go get me a switch. Climb up that tree and bring me back a switch.
And the other thing that was a trip that was super... real quick, the other thing that was a trip that was super old school was as he's doing this is not inside the home. He is beating the absolutely ever-loving shit out of him in front of the community. And then the neighbor who's, I guess, related to Tick as well, right?
No, it's the girl's it's Tick's mother's grandfather.
Okay, so related to Tick too.
It's related to Tick.
He comes out and it's just like, hey, I don't really give a shit what you're doing with your boy, but don't threaten to beat like my daughter. You know what I mean? Like as long as if you beat the shit out of your allegedly gay son in front of the entire town, I don't give a fuck. As long as it doesn't bother me.
To be clear, that was
old school.
That was Tick's mom.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, woo.
and he was drunk. I don't know if y'all. Sorry, I don't know if y'all noticed, but he was a drunk. Like the dad was clearly drunk.
He was stumbling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
You could smell the moonshine coming through the TV.
The other crazy thing was that, like, you know, Chick's dad was being. So the whole reason why he was being beaten, or basically, beaten, was because he tried on a corsage that the brother was going to give to Chick's mom, Chick ran away, and then like the brother was talking to the mom. I can't remember their names, but like they were talking together, and the girl was like, "How come you don't like defend your brother or whatever?" And then we go back to Chick's dad as an adult saying like, "Yeah, my brother, even though you didn't see it, like he actually got more beatings than I did because he was constantly sticking up for his brother." So the fact that the brother was sticking up for his brother who's different and was still taking beatings, like that just shows how much of a abusive relationship that these kids had back in the day.
Yeah.
Also, there was a line that was mentioned about how they sort of, I guess, grew together, or they had a bond because of the Tulsa incident. That's what at least how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
Because Montrose explains, he's like, you don't understand when you go through a traumatic. I'm paraphrasing, through a traumatic incident like that or whatever, the bond between me and her were just it's something we can't explain. And so that sort of was his, I guess, maybe reasoning behind why those two sort of ended up together and ended up making this sort of weird relationship between the three of them.
Yeah, and it was interesting because, you know, before they went into the past, they were, you know, Hippolyta was saying, hey, you know, don't interact with too many people because you don't want to change the past. And I was thinking about the whole episode because when they split up, I was like, and all of a sudden, you know, Montrose was already drinking before he even left, and I was like, this dude's gonna fuck up right away. And of course he did. He decided to go off on his own and go see his old self, and then they had Letty go and try to steal the Book of Names, and I was like, y'all gonna fuck up the whole timeline. I was like, there's no way that you go through, especially like when they first came through and they changed clothes. I was like, Letty's shoes are from the future. Like, I don't know why she didn't change her shoes, but they're from the future. Like, they're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. And when Montrose goes and decides to drink some more and then see his old self, because after he ran off from his dad whooping his ass, he went to go see what happened to him that really traumatized him as a kid, and it's basically him distancing himself from like his gay lover. I mean, probably wasn't a lover then, but he was
like
in love with him. Yeah, he was in love with his friend.
They had something more going on.
Yeah, and he was like sitting there calling him, you know, the F word, and basically trying to macho his way out of this relationship. And that's when the mob comes and sees them, and he watches his friend get his brains blown out right in front of him.
Dude,
and it was just
that
like,
scene had me fucking balling, dude. That scene was so fucking sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, of a lot of the shit I've seen on this show, like that shit had me like, holy shit, like, god damn. Here you are basically telling somebody you're calling them a fag because your parents doesn't agree with your relationship for them to be murdered like right in front of you, and then you're about to be fucking murdered. Like, god damn, dude, that was like a lot.
The scene that made me kind of chop some of them onions was actually with Letty in the fucking house trying to get the Book of Names.
Yeah.
And you see all this fire going on. Letty knows what's going to happen. We in the audience fucking knows what's going to happen, and it's just normal black folks in the 1920s who are actually pretty affluent, you know, just living their lives, and they're just like, oh shit. And the old woman is like, you're from the future, and you know what's going to happen. You know we're all going to die, huh? And that, I don't know, that just fucking got to me, especially when she starts melting basically on fire. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it was,
you know, or saying something about my flesh lives through some kind of incident with this passing of the book. My flesh.
Well, it goes through my grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it was really crazy.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say just quick. It was really crazy because when Letty was praying with the grandma, like she was holding her hand, and like so Letty has like she basically has a shield around her, and even though she was. As she was holding the grandma's hand wasn't catching on fire until she let it go, and then all of a sudden the hand started to burn. I should you guys noticed that.
Yeah, no, I did, and it's funny because I was watching it with my oldest daughter, and she was like, well, "Why didn't you just hug her?" And I was like, "Cause she has to die. Like, this is how they're fixing the timeline. All these events had to have happened with them there, because if the family didn't die, then the timeline would be all messed up." So.
Yeah, I found myself getting pissed at Montrose because I was like, he is going to fuck this up or whatever. And like Tick had to explain, like, no, you dumb fuck. Like, I won't exist or whatever if you go and fucking try to fix it with your lover right now or whatever. Then we can't guarantee that I'm gonna fucking exist. He's like, well, no, it won't make that much of a difference. Like, I was ready to punch my fucking TV. I was like, stupid fuck. Like, no, that's not how it works. But I want to go back because we sort of skipped over the importance of the whole. We see the funeral of Emmett Till in the previous episode. Which was I mean, obviously we know, but it was an open casket funeral because they wanted it to be known and people to see what it is that they did to that boy and everything. And there were a lot of like powerful lines where it was a hot fucking day in Chicago, and everyone's just, you could smell like the decaying and the rotting of.
Like, people were coming outside of the funeral home fucking puking because it was so fucking grotesque in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it was like a really powerful moment. And then I'd be curious to see how you guys felt about it or whatever, but they sort of reenacted it at the end of that episode with Christina.
Hold on.
What did you guys think about that?
I wanted to preface it, but I knew you were going to bring this up, or someone was, but there's a scene with Ruby and Christina, and Ruby takes her frustration of the whole situation about basically being black in 1950s America, and she wanted Christina to feel it, but then she says, you are never going to feel this, you're never going to experience it, and she describes what happened to Emmett Till, and she's like, you don't have to worry about this. If I go outside, this could potentially happen to me, and I want you to care, I want you to be mad. Christina was like, I don't care. It's not going to affect me. And then she told Ruby, you don't care too, because I basically gave you the ability to escape all of this. I gave you the means to be someone else. I gave you the means to basically kind of blend in or disappear. And so really deep down, you don't care. So later on, we get Christina, who we see has the mark of invulnerability on her, and they literally reenact what happened to Emmett Till on her.
She paid the guys, just to be clear.
Yeah.
She paid some goons.
She paid them, but she still has the act upon her. So she gets the barbed wire around the neck. She gets the anchor, or what? Actually, it's not an anchor.
It's a cotton gin
from the warehouse.
Yeah, so they throw her into the river with that. She was shot like 5-6 times, so she was able to feel it, but she came out of the water within seconds, so she got to experience what happened. But
I think what she did was she turned off her invincibility basically, so she can experience it all. But I think she just did it so that she can understand what it's like being a person of color. Because just before that, she was in a conversation with Letty's sister,
Ruby.
With Ruby, yeah. So
that's
actually not why I think she did it at all.
Yeah, I don't think
she mentioned. She mentioned earlier. She mentioned earlier in the episode that to do a spell you needed a couple things, and one of them was a body.
Mm.
And so I think that's why she did that to herself. Because if you notice, before she died, she didn't have that emblem on her stomach. And after she died, she came back, and it became on her stomach, and then she started laughing about it. So I think there's part of her spell likely to become immortal, and I think the other part is takes blood. So
she did mention that. Yeah. I didn't have any problem with the scene. I certainly, even though this is a great show and I don't have any problem with the violence and it's historically accurate, I really did not want to see a reenactment with Emmett Till.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to I didn't want to see it, even though I get its importance, of course, but putting it with Christina I thought was pretty creative actually, and fit into the story even maybe even neater, but yeah, I thought it was still a powerful moment. We're saying powerful a lot, but whatever.
Actually, you know what? What I think that actually might. I just thought about it. Is when she told Tick about having a body, and he did that the protection spell. He didn't have a body for that. He just did the signals or the sigils on the ground. His blood using to draw out the sigils, and then they said the words, but they didn't have a body. So that might have been the exact reason why she killed herself. Basically, maybe.
Well,
Go ahead.
I love how Hippolyta, how she showed up out of no fucking where. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And she's I'm here to save my fucking baby.
Yeah, because the episode before, she's like one with the universe. She's like a cosmic being, and nobody knows where the fuck she is because literally they kept asking, well, where is she? Where is she? No,
she wasn't one with the universe. She was one with Steven Universe.
Damn. But yeah, she was gone for a minute.
Second, when the daughter is in the bed and her hair is all fucking juju being out and shit like that, like for a second I thought maybe the Afro-futuristic girl was going to be her daughter, because her daughter's been painting some like pretty futuristic stuff, and I thought maybe she might get taken to the future, and like she basically turns around and saves her mom like later on. But I guess it's only season 1, season 1, so we still got a lot more to play around with.
Well, it's supposed to be an alternate universe where she went to, not necessarily the future.
That's true.
Yeah, that's another thing I also realized is that I guess there's going to be more seasons of this.
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah. I laughed out loud when I heard when Hippolyta made herself a fucking motherboard, and Letty was like, "The fuck is a motherboard?"
Yeah.
Well, did you guys talk about the whole swing for the fences scene?
No, we're getting
there. Oh, the Jackie Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah. So in episode 1, Tick had a dream that he's like in a battlefield and Jackie Robinson comes out of nowhere and just fucking cracking skulls and shit with a baseball bat. But it turns out his father Tick said that when his brother and his Tick's mom was basically about to get killed by these white people, that some stranger came out with a fucking baseball bat, was swinging for the goddamn fences, fucking people up. And like while they're watching it, this baseball player didn't show up, and then like they're like, what the fuck's going on? And then like Tick started to like go to try to help, and he comes across a baseball bat. So basically they needed to go to the past to be able to cause all this stuff to fucking happen. But man, when Tick was swinging for the fences, I was like, hell fucking yeah. Even when he hit the girl, I was like, yeah.
I was like, even that girl got the smoke. I was like, damn.
I was like, damn. He didn't care.
What was the trip about that to me, like as a fan of old school baseball? You're in 1921, and at least from his dreams, he was saying that he was swinging like Jackie Robinson. This is before Jackie Robinson is playing in the league. And so that's kind of a trip. Now, he wasn't wearing, when Tick goes back to the past or whatever, he's not wearing a Jackie Robinson kind of like uniform. But his dream and what happened in Tulsa were similar, but not exactly the same.
No. Interesting, yeah.
Cthulhu didn't show up.
So
he was living out Blue's fantasy about hitting chicks with bats.
Wish they were 200 pounds though.
She looked like she was about 240.
Damn.
So yeah, like as that's all going on, the time, things are wrapping up. Obviously, Letty has to wait for this building to burn down around her to escape, and so Montrose and Tick, after securing the kids, go back to the portal where Hippolyta is literally holding this portal open in extreme pain, and they're waiting for Letty, and so Tick goes through the portal, to encourage, because you can see how the portal is like failing, and trying to get Hippolyta to make sure that the portal is still stable, and she's like throwing up and looking way worse for wear. She starts levitating in the air. Her eyes go gray, or it turns blue. She turns into Orinthia Blue, which is amazing. And so we're watching, and Letty's walking down the road as they're bombing the city, which literally happened. They bombed them from planes. like the city, and she's like walking through these explosions, trying to get to where she needs to be, and eventually she gets through. But it's like, man, Hippolyta was knocking on death's door, trying to keep that portal open.
Hell yeah. Great episode. This is all for D, obviously, so they can use the book of names.
I kind of feel like, what's the girl's name? The blonde chick, the one that's kind of controlling the one that's like the daughter of Adam or whatever. Yeah.
Christina.
I feel like she's basically fucking 2 steps ahead of everybody, because I think she put everything in fucking place for this all to happen, and she basically needs Hippolyta. She needed Hippolyta to go back and get the fucking book, basically. And she's basically playing chess piece, and like everybody just don't know it yet.
Well, no, because she already actually has what she needs, because they took a picture of the pages, but they, I don't think she knows that they went back in time to get the whole book. She just needed certain pages, and she already has it. Because remember when she took pictures, she gave it to him.
Letty gave it to her, right?
Yeah, she has everything that she needs. She has the key to the to that portal thing, the actual machine, and she has the pages that she needs.
She even has Tick agreeing to be there during the equinox, whatever it is.
Equinox, yeah. So she does it. She does everything she needs.
The other crazy thing we never really touch on either is that when Tick jumped into the fucking portal in like the last episode, he got projected into the fucking future, so he actually got to meet his. I'm not sure if he met him, but he like found the book that his son fucking wrote.
So some lady
talking about his life story.
So what he said was some lady he was only in the future for like a couple of maybe 30 seconds, and he said that there was a riot going on with white people, and that some lady with a robot arm shoved a book into his hands and then kicked him across the portal again, and the book was by his son, called Lovecraft Country.
Yep, that's a trip. We don't even know what the fuck is going on. This show is amazing. Yeah. Do we want to get into titty news?
Titty news.
Oh, it's Cardi B.
Well, no. Rewind it. We still have to go over the boys. The boys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Holy shit!
Did everybody watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Damn, he's all talk about titties.
I like titties.
Oh, did you watch? Are you all caught up, Prodigy, or no?
I have 2 more. I've just finished 6, so I have 7 and 8.
Jesus
But keep
Christ.
going.
There's gonna be spoilers, man.
Yeah, you sure?
No, continue. I'm way behind. Go ahead.
Okay, well, the boys wrapped it up and everything, and I can't remember what happened 2 episodes ago. I know some crazy shit went down. We already had the tree nut episode, right? That's when they
Yeah. That's when they saved
Somebody
Starlight.
jump in and give the review for me, because I'm trying to remember what happened on the episode before.
I remember.
So the episode before, it was Starlight was in jail, and Huey and Lamplighter went to go save her. And when Lamplighter set himself on fire, basically to set the alarm to release everybody, release all the locks, release the lockdown so everybody can get out. And then
he did that because he was fucking pissed off that he wasn't popular anymore.
Well, no. Well, he didn't know about his statue. He's all like, he said he wanted to do this in front of his statue. He's all, I want to do this in front of my statue. And Huey's like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? And then he sets himself on fire. And he said he knew of a way to get her out. So why else would he do that? Unless that was the only way. So he set himself on fire, which released all the locks, which got Starlight out. Starlight's mom shows up, and they pretty much escape. On their way out, she meets Maeve. She tries to convince Maeve to come and squad up with them.
She missed out on one part.
Well, I'm talking about the very end.
Starlight ran into Noir, and they started fucking fighting. And then
that's a peanut allergy. Yeah, that too. But yeah, and because she did that with Black Noir, that's when Starlight tries to recruit Maeve, and Maeve says no.
Fuck you, bitch. Yeah.
That's the second time she tried. So earlier in the episode, she tried to recruit Maeve, and Maeve is still like doing her, like, drinking and smoking and stuff, and fucking.
She's fucking scared.
Yeah. She's all sort of distraught because her girl left her and everything, and realized that all the fucked up shit that she's had to be sort of first-hand witness to while she was with the Seven, so she doesn't know how to handle it and kind of decides to take some time apart from Maeve and everything. And then at the end of that, well, pretty much what culminates in that episode is that they're going to have this like congressional hearing where they get the, I guess, one of the top people from Vought to, I guess, testify in front of Congress and talk about what's going on with Compound V and stuff. So they have the guy come into the courtroom and everything after Butcher threatens him by saying, "I'm going to murder your fucking daughter in front of you," and all this shit like that. So they walk into the courtroom and everything, and you see like kind of like Homelander have this kind of like the actor that plays Homelander, I can't think of his name, but he's so good at giving like facial expressions.
The real shitty ones,
without like saying anything. It's like he is just really amazing good acting where he's not even like reading words. You can like see what he's saying through his face, which is just like a different level of acting. But he's walking in, he's about to start testifying in front of this congressional hearing, and people's heads start popping like fucking balloons and shit all over the place. And it's just fucking wild. And you're like, oh shit, the person's there, but you don't really know who the fuck is doing it. And because you see A-Train's replacement, at first you think it's maybe just like the people, like the regular normal people, but you see A-Train's like replacement. His head gets popped as well, and everyone's just running around panic, and that's how like kind of like that episode sort of ends. Then it goes into this episode where they're just like, what the fuck do we do now? And Butcher ends up getting a meeting with what's his name, the actor dude,
Giancarlo Esposito. Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah.
I can't think of his name on the show, but they have a sort of sit down. And he explains to him like, "Yo, I'm gonna sell out the kid." And I know I'm skipping over a lot.
That's next episode. That's the next episode.
Yeah. I transitioned to the next episode. Yeah. He's like, "I'm gonna sell out the kid." Blah 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 blah. Just be there. And
hold on.
I just want my wife back.
You have to rewind a second because we didn't explain that Stormfront and Homelander stole Homelander's kid from the mom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's important.
Yeah, yeah. They in the previous episode they stole the kid, ran off. So now the mom is just like, I'm fucking living in this make believe neighborhood, and I don't even have my kid anymore. So she's freaking out. In a recent episode, she ends up escaping the makeshift neighborhood that she's living in. She's just like, I get the fuck out of here. She ends up meeting up with the boys and explains what happened. She's like, they took my kid, etc., etc. So now Stormfront and Homelander are trying to, I guess, raise this kid and doing a shitty job of it because they're just horrible people. They bring him to like this. They're bringing him to Six Flags or like Vought World, and because they're trying to, I guess, make things try to be normal and bring kids to the amusement park. But once they actually show up there, it's like fucking LeBron James walking into fucking Disneyland. Everyone swarms them and like wants pictures and autographs, and the kid starts freaking out, so they have to leave. And Kronos, you can set up the hilarious white genocide line that was just like epic.
Yeah, it's like they were trying to convince Ryan, the son, to stay, and that there's bad guys out there, because they're trying to get him to use his powers, and he's trying to get him to use like his heat vision, because obviously he has a heat vision, but he just doesn't really know how to use it or control it. And so Homelander's like, oh, sometimes you gotta, think about something you don't like. I think it's Stormfront actually said that. You think about something that you hate, and then she's like, there's people out there.
Homelander.
Yeah. Well, then Stormfront is like, there's people out there that they don't like you because of the color of your skin, and she's talking about a white genocide, and then I'm just like, It's like, white genocide? Like, what the fuck? What's this bitch talking about? I was just like, man. And Homelander was just like, Homelander was just like, all right, sure, sounds okay. I'm getting pussy. Yeah, I'm just like, all right, dude.
Yeah. I read it as like Homelander was like, really? Okay, I guess maybe the pussy's good, but okay, I guess.
Yeah, that was just amazing to me. So they have to come up with Billy Butcher has to come up with a plan with the boys to get Ryan back. He cut a deal with I forget the black guy's name, but basically to capture Ryan and then give him to Vought and then put basically the kid into witness protection program, so nobody would be able to find the kid again. And then Billy was gonna give himself up after that. So eventually, they have this huge plan to like get the kid away from, Homelander and Stormfront. It's a pretty elaborate plan, and ends up basically coming down to a bunch of fight scenes with Stormfront, the female, and
Maeve.
and Starlight start fighting, and then Queen Maeve comes and like saves them. They all get into this fight and just like whoop the shit out of Stormfront. Dude, like Mojo Jojo beat the shit out of her.
It's like the scene from Office Space when they're fucking beating up that fucking printer.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yes.
So Stormfront is like, all right, I'm getting my ass whooped. It's time to bounce out of here. So she leaves and like finds Billy and the mom that are running to try and get the kid out of there, because Billy decides that, hey, I guess, I'm not going to give the kid up. Let's get the kid and the mom into witness protection program. And then they get caught up in all this shit. So they have to run from Stormfront. But then Stormfront actually leaves, like leaving the ass whooping. She catches up with Billy, the kid, and the mom. And she starts basically choking the mom out, like killing the mom. And the son was just like, no. And his heat vision comes on. And that's when, and that's when I think, that's right around the time when I think Billy shows up. Or something like that. Yeah. And like heat vision goes off, Stormfront gets fucked up, basically goes the way of fucking Anakin Skywalker. Yeah. I was just like, God damn, she had a real bad day.
Damn.
Well, Billy starts whacking Stormfront with the crowbar.
Yeah, he was
and
there.
It's like not doing shit. Like, she's just like in kill mode, and she gives that line about, open your eyes, I want to see the light go out.
Yeah.
Which is like the same thing she said to Kimiko's brother. Yeah. When she killed him or whatever, and the son just has a just emotional episode and triggers his powers and fucking
the
zaps her.
White.
Yeah.
Well,
and then
I don't think the son killed the mom. I think because the Stormfront, her fucking grip on the mom's throat was so fucking tight, like that she actually ripped off the mom or ended up killing the mom, but the son killed Stormfront at the same time. So
I don't think Stormfront's dead, by the way. I think she's.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Well, she is alive. They talked about it. Yeah.
She's gonna show up in Darth. She's gonna show up in Darth Vader's suit. Breathing apparatus and everything.
No, I think she can regenerate because like when her and Homelander were fucking, he burnt the shit out of her chest and her chest is back to normal again. So I think she might have some like healing powers.
I'm pretty sure that's not the last of Stormfront, for sure.
No.
Yeah, they have to put her pretty much on the shelf because they revealed to everybody that she's a fucking Nazi and everything with photos and stuff, and they got it all leaked out, and they started dropping memes on her and stuff about how, I forget the song that they said, the runner with a truck or something like that. It was pretty fucking good. But so they sort of put her on the shelf. And you also find out from Giancarlo that he's not about having Stormfront there, but it's all about business for him and making money. Because when he's having a conversation with the president of the collective church,
the Fresca person, the Fresca people.
They sort of talk about getting the Deep back in, but they can't get A-Train back in because of the Stormfront problem and everything, which they. Yeah, because he's black. You find out that A-Train's actually listening in on the conversation, and it's just like, what the fuck? And that's when he gives over the special file dossier to the boys about what's her name's back history and everything. So and then also we about the scene where Homelander pretty much takes out that whole SWAT team and shit. Because they set out this like big sonic sounding device that was supposed to like distract them all. Well, Butcher grabs the boy, makes the swapperoo, and he's supposed to deliver the boy to Vought, but he ends up sort of like doing a double cross And so when the SWAT team is there ready to pick up the boy, Homelander comes back home and it's like fucking Goldilocks in the house with 3 bears. And Homelander's like, yo, where's my son? And son ain't there. And Homelander just does a fucking cuts him like symmetrically through the fucking down the middle or whatever. He's like, what the fuck's going on? And it's just like, oh, this is all bad situation. And then you eventually see Homelander come out the house and he's just covered in gore or whatever, pretty much because he just fucked up the entire thing. And then as we fast forward, they have the big fight with the girl stomping out Stormfront. Stormfront ends up escaping, gets killed by the kid, and then you see after the aftermath of the son killing his mom, Butcher grabs this like crowbar, and you're just like, oh shit, is he gonna fuck up the kid? And then I think that's when Homelander gets there or something.
Yeah.
And it becomes like a sort of like the battle in terms of like, oh, come to me sort of deal. And the son ends up going to Butcher.
Butcher looks like he's gonna try to kill the fucking kid.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Yeah, with the crowbar, and so you have that whole tense moment, and then Homelander, I guess he just sort of like flies off because he's just like, what the fuck? He's pretty much sort of like kind of like mentally fucked up.
Wait. He doesn't just fly off. There's a reason why he leaves.
Yeah.
So you missed when. So Homelander is basically about to cut down Butcher, but then Queen Maeve is behind him, and she has her phone out, and she's playing the video of when they were on the airplane that they let die. And it shows everything that he's doing, and she tells Homelander, "You're gonna let them go." And he's like, "Why am I gonna do that?" She's all, "I'm gonna send this out to everyone. All I gotta do is push send, and this goes to every newscast, every blog, everything that is associated with us, and everyone's gonna see what a piece of shit you are." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna kill you if you do that." She's like, "I don't care at this point, because even if you kill me, the rest of the world will stop loving you." And he just like, has this like internal fire inside of him where you can see him, and he's listening to the crowds of people that love him in his head, and it slowly fades away, and it fucking affects him. So then he just like looks at Butcher, and Butcher's like, all right, she got you. He takes the kid and just walks away. And that's when Homelander takes off, because he's just like, fuck. Because it's like, every time Homelander and Butcher meet, Butcher manages to still walk away, no matter what. Even though Homelander could have literally just lasered the shit out of him, but Butcher manages to walk away every time.
But the best part of the entire episode was the end.
Yes. Then you go to this like press conference where they're having this. Homelander's kind of giving this public apology. He's like, "Oh, we were wrong about Starlight, blah 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 blah. Stormfront was actually we didn't know, blah blah blah." Giving this whole big fucking apology thing, which you can see is just eating away at his core. And then the second to last scene, you see Huey. Huey's just like, all right, I'm gonna take some time off from the boys, etc., etc. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Before that, the guy from the church is on the phone, talking with. Is he talking with Giancarlo or? No,
he's talking. That's the very last scene. He's talking to the senator.
Okay.
All right.
That's the similar.
He's Fada from Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he's not talking to her.
Yeah, because he asked about like some tax credits and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, being like tax exempt or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, and everything, and he hangs up the phone, sips on his Fresca, and his fucking head pops, and I was like, what the fuck is with Fresca? I'm like, god damn. I was like, I don't even know. I don't think I'll ever drink a Fresca in my life. I don't think I have, but I was like, I sure as fuck never drinking a fucking Fresca now. And you see her like outside of like I guess the little whatever church house property, like on the phone and everything. You realize, oh shit, she's got the head popping skills, which is a big twist because like when everyone's head was getting popped at the senator hearing, she was there looking all freaked the fuck out and shit like that. I thought her head was gonna pop and everything, and she looked like she was scared. So it was really good, really well done.
If you go back and rewatch that episode, everybody who head popped, she's looking at. Her eyes on everybody who's head popping. It's like, oh shit, like the clues were always fucking there.
Well, you know what's crazy? What threw me off is that there's another person who's still actually in the wind who has a very similar power.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I thought it was.
I thought it was her too.
Yeah.
I thought it was her too. And then I was like, oh shit.
But she made body pop.
Yeah, it's the person that was in that jail, like the experimentation detention facility. She made whole bodies pop, and I thought it was her, but it's obviously not. And then I was thinking, what if it's the same person? But it can't be, because while she was still in the detention facility, that senator was making speeches when Homelander landed. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But that potential supervillain is still in the. So are a bunch of other people. They're still in the wind with all these crazy powers.
Yeah.
That's probably where the spin-off comes in.
And then you see Homelander fucking broken mentally, but rubbing one out, fucking talking to himself. Look, something seems like Prodigy might be into it, be like, I do what I want. Nobody tells me what to do, or whatever, beating off with his tears into the skyline. Yeah.
It's Chrysler baiting.
Chrysler baiting. Oh man.
Yeah. Which is
the meme that came across that had like Batman and Spider-Man on the little fucking gargoyles looking the city, and then the next panel was fucking Homelander fucking rubbing one off. So like, damn.
Because it was talked about that scene. I assume it's possibly in the comics or whatever, but it was originally that scene was supposed to be in the first season, but it was like one of the only things that I guess the executives were just like, I don't think we can do that or whatever. We can have people running through bodies and disfigurements and all kinds of shit like that, but like no masturbation in front of on top of a building or whatever. And this season they were just like, you know what, fuck it. First season was a success. We'll push it up the envelope even more. So they showed him fucking beating off in front of the fucking skyline or whatever, just raining jizz down into the city.
Dude, it fit perfectly into the episode still. Like if this was pre-recorded like from season 1, like it fit perfectly into season 2, like with everything that was fucking going on.
Yeah. And then also you see Huey going into Head Popper's office, so
getting a job.
Season 3 I guess is being filmed now from what I've heard. So
nice.
I still am a little bit salty because I would have loved to have been able to marathon it just because I'm greedy and selfish like that. But I enjoyed being able to like look forward to something every Friday and watching every episode.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we're on the titties with Prodigy. The
titty minute. I just found it like always interesting when we're talking about the subject of titties. Cardi had some kind of titties that popped out or went on Instagram or Twitter or something. It went on the socials. The weirdest thing was people were complaining about her titties or making fun of her titties, which was really odd. Something about the areolas looked too big. First of all, if you see titties, you appreciate titties. So that's just weird to me. But here was the great thing. Other just random, not only fangirls, not porn stars, just random girls all over fucking Twitter started this hashtag boobs out for Cardi, and it was raining fucking titties all day yesterday. All over the fucking interwebs. Did y'all see this?
Oh yeah.
It's still going on.
You're still going. You're still titties.
You can't find a hashtag. Like I'm looking up the hashtag on Twitter right now, and nothing's fucking coming up.
I found it, and there's plenty of titties.
I'm looking at it right now, hashtag boobs out for Cardi, and nothing's coming up.
Man,
all kinds of titties.
Yesterday it was raining.
But like, if you Google it, stuff is coming up. But if Twitter is apparently pulling it or something.
You are just constantly respecting women. In the same week that Megan Thee Stallion they found out who shot her and shit like that. You're more focused on Cardi B's titties. Megan Thee Stallion being shot.
Look, obviously Cardi's titties are pretty powerful because she got other titties out. Like that's pretty impressive. She started a whole movement of free titties. Come on now.
I'm looking at titties right now. This chick, she has a plug-in, a tail plug-in, with her boobs out. I mean, I see other dudes saying they're looking respectfully at this tribute. So I mean, it's still there.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
I never. That was not on my 2020 bingo that there would be a random new hashtag for here's some free titties all over the place with just random girls. That was cool.
That's the free space on your bingo card.
Well,
there you go.
You know what I don't get is people that are complaining about the size of her areolas. It's like, have you not seen a variety of titties before, or like what the fuck?
Yeah, no shit.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like that's very odd. Yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes. It's like pull out your dick and see how many chicks make fun of that shit.
Yeah, no shit.
You know these fucking weak ass dudes.
Who complains about titties? That's odd. Yeah.
I can tell you one guy who does. That one senator that talked about how the WAP song was too much.
Oh, he's not a senator. He's talking about Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the fuck he was.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro.
That was about the same.
He's another weak ass dude.
Yeah.
You don't like wet ass pussy.
No.
Yeah. So
it's a hoax from the left.
Hold on, real quick. Sorry, I just thought about this because it fucking bothers me when people talk about obvious anatomy things. It's like I don't know if Cardi B does she have kids?
Yeah, she has
one kid.
Well, that's likely one of the reasons why our fucking areolas are so big, because the whole reason why areolas are big and they get darker is so a kid knows where to fucking get milk from. You fucking morons.
There you go. Yeah, and some are bigger. I mean, there's all different sizes.
Yeah, just
some are bigger even before kids.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know?
It's just people are just dumb.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. All right, guys, should we wrap it on up, man? We've covered some of fucking everything. God damn it.
Well, hold on. You want to talk about Ice Cube for a minute? Did you want to talk about this week, or you want to wait?
We can. No, that was from today.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can set it up.
Well, no, I mean you had the problem, so you set it up.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Ice Cube, supposedly, if you believe what he said, that he's proposed to both the Democrats and the Republicans I haven't read the whole thing, but a plan for Black America. Is that the best way of describing it?
Yeah,
I guess
it's a contract.
It's a contract.
Contract.
Okay.
With Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He met with Trump, or according to him, the Democrats said maybe after the election, maybe, I don't know. He met with Trump
the campaign.
I thought he.
Not Trump, not Trump in person or on directly.
Trump's administration.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Yes.
Trump's administration. There's a part of it I think is something along the lines of the numbers I thought were like 500 billion or 500 million. I don't know what the exact numbers were.
500 billion with the B.
Yeah. Okay. That's a lot of money. My issue is this. I don't trust that this is going to fucking happen at all in terms of the Trump administration being interested in just giving $500 billion to the black community. Now, I do not have a problem with Ice Cube trying to get that by talking to anybody. The proof is in the pudding. If he's able to do it, then I eat my words, and that's great. That's awesome. That's a win. But there's nothing in Trump's history or his administration that tells me that this is a priority for him whatsoever.
Well,
what say y'all?
Let's be completely fair here. All right. So y'all know I'm not a fan of President Trump, like at all. But he is not 100% bad against all things. Case in point, he gave a couple of $1 million, more than a couple $1 million to the HBCUs. You know, so it's not like he's.
Did he?
Yeah,
Maybe I missed that.
Yeah, I think he did. He does like fucking 10 bad things, then he does one good thing. So it's like easy to overlook the bad shit for the good shit. Y'all can fact check me as I'm speaking, but I've read about that from multiple news sources that he got funding for millions of dollars for HBCUs, which is a great thing. So it's not. I mean, obviously, you got to do things for political purposes, and you can't be 100% bad 100% of the time. So that being said, wherever we can get funding from to help the black community, let's do it. Because right now, let's be totally honest, neither side is fucking helping, and that's a serious problem. And I'm glad that he went to both sides and he's willing to actually listen or actually just meet with them and try to get the ball rolling. I'm with Prodigy. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I mean, prove me wrong, please. I want it to go somewhere. I want somebody to give a shit about the black community that has been underserved for, hundreds of years, and it'd be nice for it to change. But I'm rooting for them to actually do something about it. But first of all, I don't think. Hopefully, they won't be in power in the next by next month or next year or whatever. But it's still good that somebody's out there trying to advocate for the black community that has the power to do so, and that's Ice Cube. So if you can get the funding from wherever you want to get the fucking funding from, go do it and help the black community.
Yeah. I don't have any problem with Ice. I don't think. Now, let me just be real careful on this. Ice Cube is not an elected official. No. I grew up on Ice Cube. Yeah. Ice Cube certainly. I feel like in a joking way, he helped raise me because I listened to so much fucking Ice Cube growing up. Yeah. But at the same time, he's not elected by anybody. Nobody has said that he is. We want him to represent us to any administration. But if he, as his own citizen, wants to do that, I say more power to him. But again, there hasn't been anything that I've seen, and I'll have to look up the HBCU thing, but there hasn't been anything that I've seen in Trump's long history that gives me any faith that this is going to happen. Now, I'm not saying, oh, well, obviously in January, if Biden wins, this is going to immediately happen to him, this be on the top of his agenda either. I just don't have a lot of faith in this being real, especially 2.5 weeks before the election. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing about this smells right.
Yeah, and I looked up the story, and it's $250 million. He signed a bill to fund HBCUs.
So federal funding.
Yeah, obviously not in his fucking pocket. Come on now.
That's great.
My whole feeling on that is like I consider it bullshit or whatever. I mean, yeah, you signed a check or whatever. What good does actually signing a check or whatever if we're trying to stop all these systemic racism issues that are going on in the country? Any rich person can sign a check. Like, I would be more impactful if you did some sort of policy or did some sort of legislature to help combat the problem in terms of like what's going on. Any rich any rich person can sign a check, and people do tout this whole like, this is why when people say, he's done more for the black community than anybody else,
he definitely has
or whatever. That's well, I agree, but the number one stat that they pull up is he donated $500 million to HBCUs. Okay, what did that money do? Or whatever. If you gave $500 million to Howard, Grambling, Southern, Hampton, et cetera, Clark, blah, blah, blah. What did they do with that money? Did they just build new facilities at their universities? Like, what did that actual money go towards in terms of like? Just handing over money to a university doesn't mean it's a simple fucking process. Like, it doesn't mean that you're actually giving a shit about what is going on in that community or at that university. It's just like, y'all need money here, take this and just be gone. Just sort of shut up for now and take this money. Like, I think it to me, I just feel it's so disingenuous, and it gives these MAGA people a talking point when people try to combat and say like, Trump's not racist. How could he be racist when he donated $500,000 or $500 million to HBCUs? Racist people wouldn't fucking do that shit, and it gives them a talking point. And I just think it's so disingenuous when people try to use that line as to combat him and actually saying and doing actual legitimate racist shit or whatever when they cite that factoid that like, well, he's donated and he's given black people money, so he can't be racist. I have a black friend, so I can't be racist either. It's sort of along the same lines, except rich people give money to their black friends rather than say like, I have a black friend. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, so I agree with like a lot of what you said, but like the bill that he signed, there was very specific things that are supposed to be going towards. It wasn't just like a blank check. Some of it went towards expanding programs in science, technology, and engineering. It went towards millions of dollars went towards serving Hispanics, serving institutions, tribal schools, and there's very specific things that it went towards. So it wasn't just a blank check, but I'm with you on everything else you said. And when it comes to Ice Cube, what specifically he was asking for was for them to come to an agreement with, it's called the CWBA, and it's a contract with Black America. And it's a whole litany of things that, it's like a list of shit that they want to get done to help Black communities. With representation, I'll just read you the bullet points. Representation, lending reform, federal funding, Federal Reserve, financial oversight, data and credit, prison reform, judicial reform, police reform act, FCC licensing, Confederate institutions, AGP programs, and Black responsibility. So that's what that's what Ice Cube is trying to get out there, is like this contract with Black America to like really deal with things in a specific way that are really affecting our community. Whether or not that happens or not, I don't know, but he seems to have a pretty comprehensive fucking list of shit on what he thinks could help fix the harm that's been done to the Black community.
So Ice Cube went to the guy that was convicted and paid out millions of dollars for housing discrimination against Black people, and decided that he's going to write up a contract with this same person. The same person that is not allowed to also head any sort of official charities, because those things were found to be fraud and had contract negligence and everything. Same guy that was also impeached for interfering with investigations and everything. We're going to take Ice Cube's word that this guy signed a contract with him, regular famous rapper dude.
Yeah, so like, obviously it was not, you just talked to the administration, but also everything you said, yeah, it's all valid. The guy did some fucking shitty shit, but if you want to get something done and the guy listens and you can make something of it, that's the guy you talk to. You go through some sort of legislature to write up a contract to get this shit done. That's
not legislator. That's a handshake agreement with a rapper.
Well, it's, like, you have to hold on, man. You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You have to start somewhere, right?
Not with Ice Cube.
I don't care I don't care who starts it. Like, as long as something positive comes of it, like, why would we care who started it? And yeah, I don't agree with everything Ice Cube says, but I mean, if we can get rolling in the right direction, like, why not do that?
Well, and just to be really, really clear, though, there have been plenty of well thought out agenda items with the Black congressmen and women for decades and decades and decades, trying to promote legislation that has some similarities and some even more robust plans, quote unquote, for Black America that have fallen on either deaf ears or there's no political will on them for a long time. But I don't want to mischaracterize it as only Ice Cube has ever come up with any type of black community agenda. That's just not true. I mean, there have been in Congress people who have been elected to Congress, some Black and some not, have come up with legislation to help improve.
For sure.
A lot of that has fallen on deaf ears. And I also, again, I have to go back to this. While I agree with some of the points that are on Ice Cube's agenda, he is not an elected official and does not set legislation.
But you know who else isn't? Kim Kardashian. You know who else got to sit next to fucking President Trump and push down some prison reform? Kim Kardashian. So, I mean, we can say all things that we want, that, yeah, they're not elected official, they're celebrities. I get that. I'm totally with you with that shit. But if somebody can get into the ear of this person and get them to do some real change, I'm all for it. And like I said, I'm not 100% with everything that Ice Cube says, but if he can bypass some political bullshit and cut to the chase, which obviously I doubt is going to happen, especially at this time frame, I would love to see it done.
Yeah, I can get on board. I can get on board with that. All right, let's wrap it on up then. We're all in agreement on O'Shea Jackson. What you got popping this week, Blue?
Blue's still there?
Blue's on mute.
Oh, he's muted.
Yeah.
Goddamn, Blue, you got to talk.
He muted.
I was on mute. This weekend, I'm still recovering. So my whole thing that happened to me in the hospital, like, I still have like small pains here and there. They're not major. They're just like out of nowhere. I'll have like a quick little spike of pain. So That shit happened. I got to follow up with my doctors. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. It's not Crohn's disease or any other thing. It could have been just something I fucking ate. It just fucked with my stomach, and it just happened to happen for the third time. But definitely doing yard work. Since we had all the fires and like the rains and stuff like that, the air quality's been real shit. So I haven't had a chance to like work on my yard. So got to work on the front yard this week. But yeah, I mentioned earlier that I bought a fucking robot vacuum cleaner thingy, and it comes on Friday. I'm like really looking forward to playing with that goddamn thing because I don't know. I just want to see a little slave running around cleaning after me since I don't have a kid or anything.
Your
so
dog's gonna love it.
I feel like it might be a good incentive or whatever. But other than that, I'm hoping I can jump back into playing Borderlands 3 and get into that Halloween DLC again. Squad up on that, and also squatting up on Among Us because that shit was so much fun today playing with Stitch.
Good shit. Stitch, what you got?
I'm gonna probably be playing a little bit of Call of Duty. I want to see if I can try to figure out a way to organize something where we can squad up, or maybe even reach out to some of our listeners and get like an Among Us like group game going on. I think that would be really fun. So play the bartender. If you want to get on with us and some of our other fans, Kev, something cast, everybody. If you on Among Us, reach out to us. Let's start accusing each other and pointing fingers at who the killer is and getting people thrown out in space. I was in Tahoe last week. I was in Tahoe last weekend. That was really cool. It was the first time I'd ever been to Lake Tahoe. We just
outside of the wintertime?
What's that?
You never been in the wintertime as well?
No, I've never been or whatever. It's kind of salty at my parents for never bringing me and everything, but it was a really awesome to just, not to just make this long, but it's like someone explained to me, it's like being in California is like a lifestyle and everything. Yeah, everything's more expensive out here, but you are paying for a different way of life. And you really appreciate it when you can go from where we live in an urban, not overly urban, but a city populated environment where it's like if we go, or at least for me, it's maybe like an hour, but for you guys, maybe like 30 minutes to the west, you guys are right on the beach and everything. Or if we drive 2 hours or hour and a half in a direction to the east, we can be up in the mountains, secluded, just sort of chilling and everything. And I mean, depending on if it's warm weather or cold weather, you would have no idea you're in California. It might as well be like Colorado or whatever. You would have no fucking idea. And I think it was really cool to just sort of get a completely different change of scenery. It was just clear skies, no smoke from the fires or anything, and just it would just get a nice clear head and just be able to just sort of relax, decompress out in Lake Tahoe. I really want to go back when it's snowing, just to get that whole like scenery view. And it's just really awesome just to even like see like the elevation signs where it's just like I'm 8,000 feet above sea level. It's like I've been to like Denver and stuff, and I thought that was like the highest above sea level I would ever be, and I'm like 8,000 feet. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. No problems with fires and whatnot out there, or air quality was pretty good?
No, it was really cool. Lake Tahoe was absolutely beautiful. I mean, you see pictures of it and stuff about how clear the water is and obviously cold.
Did you get a chance to drive around it?
Yeah, well, I let Storm sort of play with my phone and everything because she just wants to chew it and everything. And I guess when I had like the GPS map stuff on before I set the destination, when we had our little breakfast at our breakfast before we came home, it turned off my GPS routes where it had me avoiding major highways and tolls on the way back. So when I hit the trip for me to come back to Livermore, it was like, oh, it's going to take you 4.5 hours. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, it only took me like 2.5, 3 to get up. I mean, well, more like 3 to get up here. But I was like, well, I guess traffic or some shit's bad. And it had me going through like Route 88. It was no highways I was taking back. And it had me go through some
back route shit.
Yeah, just like the 80
complete back route shit. and like it had me avoiding like all highways, like I was like a drug runner and shit like that. I'm like, I can see 580 over there, but like, why is it telling me not to get on 580? But I'm like, whatever. And I'm driving through Stockton. Stockton is fucking crazy. Like Stockton is not the place to fucking be. Like I've seen like homeless encampments and stuff like that. This was a fucking village or whatever down by like the marina and stuff. And I was like, why is it bringing me here and shit like that? It was just like, it was insane. It was crazy. I'm getting sidetracked, but Stockton is I don't want to say scary, but Stockton ain't the place to be or whatever. Yeah. So, but other than that, it was really cool. Had a blast. Yeah.
Good shit, Cronus. What you got?
Well, I'm quarantining with me and my oldest daughter. I get another COVID-19 test on Monday. So hopefully I can reunite with the rest of my family again. It's always a bummer when I have to do this. Fucking sucks. Tomorrow I'm going to change the brakes on my oldest daughter's car because we were driving here and I was told that the car was good to go. And first time I pulled into a gas station, I'm hitting the brakes and it's and on the freeway, the steering wheel's all shaky and shit. I'm just like, oh god damn it. So I bought some brakes.
The motor is gonna be fucked up too.
What's up?
Yeah,
I said
one at a time.
I said the rotors might be take some damage too.
Yeah, I bought new rotors and brakes. Like it's not my first rodeo. So
are you gonna have her help you do it?
Yeah. I'm gonna show her how to do one, and she's gonna do the other. So
Nice.
it should be a pretty cool thing to do. It should only take like maybe an hour or two. If it was just me, it'd take like an hour, but I gotta show her how to do it, so she knows how to work on her own car.
That's awesome.
Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I'm catching up on a lot of comics. I caught up on all my X comics, except for the ones that came out today. I haven't read those yet. I'll read those probably later on this week. But yeah, X of Swords seems to be pretty good. Everybody seems to be liking it so far, and it's making people actually go out and buy the rest of the X books. So I thought I had all of them, and I was reading them, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I don't have X Factor, and I was like, I thought I had it, but I didn't. It's like it's part of like X of Swords, so
yeah.
So I had to go back through. Luckily, the comic shop had all the ones that I needed, like 1 through 4. So yeah, if y'all get a chance, definitely check out X of Swords and like the whole Hickman universe of all things X-Men. So he has like a clear vision of where he wants this all to go, and the other writers that are writing of the comics seem to be all in line. And they're really good stories. So all the books have been good so far. So yeah, check them out.
Good shit. Old Ninja, what you got?
So tomorrow, season 3 of Star Trek Discovery drops. So I'm gonna be checking that out for sure. Sometime tomorrow. We haven't really talked about anime. I don't know if you guys talked about it when I was having issues, but Cronus was talking about this new anime that was out that I wanted to hear more about. There's also apparently
Burn the Witch.
There you go. Did y'all talk about that at all earlier or no?
We did.
No, I just watched it today, so yeah.
There's also a new, so it's being called an anime, but I mean it's an American thing. The Blood of Zeus. It's gonna be a Netflix thing.
Sam Deeds?
They've been showing advertisements of it. It's out in like another week or something like that. I want to check that out. It's out on the 27th. So I'm kind of looking forward to checking that out, but I got to catch up on God of High School. I haven't started that out.
Isn't that Sam Dietz, the Zeus thing?
I don't know, but I know it has a fairly decent cast. I know that. But I can double check. Yeah, I can double check. We're going to be definitely playing a lot more Star Wars Squadrons. I will be playing some Modern Warfare, of course. I was playing with Stitch. We were playing the new mode. That mode's gone now, but they got some new stuff up and running. I guess they're teasing a Halloween event for Warzone. It's if you are playing in the on the Warzone map, you'll see posters of the Haunting of Verdansk, which is the theme of the upcoming Halloween event. It's not quite clear, but the heavily rumored event is probably going to be zombies somewhere on the map. Maybe it's the whole map. We don't know yet. We'll find out hopefully in the next couple weeks or whatnot. just doing a lot more game. Oh, I gotta actually start Ghost of Tsushima because I want to check out the DLC. I haven't even like installed the game yet, so I'm gonna try to do that before this weekend. But yeah, it's gonna be mostly some Star Wars and Modern Warfare over the weekend, and probably a little bit of Gears, but just chilling. Oh, definitely Star Trek. So I'm gonna try to hopefully be talking about that next week as well, because
We get
we're gonna be
confirmation
talking
on this. We get
on
confirmation on the Sam Deets.
No, it's not Sam Dietz, but somebody was saying that I think it's by the showrunner. Yeah, okay, so it's the same studio as Castlevania.
Oh, okay.
It's Powerhouse Animation Studios.
Nice.
There we go. So that's pretty much it for me.
Good shit. Based on Blue's recommendation, literally from 2 fucking years ago, I finally finished up the first season of Haunting of Hill House, and I fucking love that shit. That shit was goddamn fucking spooky. I don't like watching it alone. Fuck you, Blue, for recommending it, because goddamn, it was good, but it was spooky. And then they got season 2 just dropped because Netflix loves to do shit in a timely goddamn manner, and it's October. The new one is called Haunting of Bly Manor, and goddamn, this shit might even be worse in terms of the spooky fuckiness. Perfect for Halloween times. I'm loving that. And then the only other thing, big ass fucking shout out. I love the fucking Fleetwood Mac song Green.
Shit.
The fucking TikTok guy, Dogface something on TikTok, he does this video where he's just on a long skateboard drinking some Ocean Spray cranberry juice, listening to that song. It went fucking viral. My kids are watching it. I'm watching it. I had heard Fleetwood Mac before, never liked it until this. Visuals are fucking powerful. It's a fucking vibe, goddammit. Drink the fucking cranberry juice. Skate on.
So the CEO of Ocean Spray had talked to the dude, and it's because his car broke down and he had to go to work. So he took his skateboard to work and just filmed himself on TikTok. So the CEO of Ocean Spray gave him a truck, and they filled the truck with Ocean Spray. And then I'm watching, was it Sunday Night Football, and State Farm basically turned that through TikTok into a fucking commercial. So Mick Fleetwood put up a TikTok response where he's drinking cranberry juice and he's on some kind of I'm pretty sure it was either roller skates or something, but they mashed him up, and then everybody else that copied it, they turned it into this like little montage type thing. So
it's like a challenge thing.
Yeah, it's like a challenge, but they turned everyone that did it into a montage and ended it with the split screen of Mick Fleetwood and the dude on the skateboard. So big ups to him.
That came from the whole Pence fly thing was the fucking fly on Pence's head drinking fucking cranberry.
Oh yeah,
my wood shit playing. That shit had me fucking.
No, the best one I saw is President Trump doing it and he's drinking bleach. I was like, damn, they went hard.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Actually, the one that probably the best one I saw was like a pumpkin head. This dude had a jack-o'-lantern on his head with some Starbucks, and he throws it in his fucking face, and it's all spilling down, and then he wrecks. That shit was hilarious.
This shit is great. And then real quickly, I give props. I've said talked a lot of trash about the fucking Lakers, but they got it done with Bron this year. I got to give props to the fucking NBA for having that bubble shit that worked out completely perfectly with no fucking COVID cases. Take a fucking hint to the White House and the rest of America, because holy shit, they were successful with that, and there were a lot of fucking doubters. You compare that with the fucking NFL, and it's night and day. The NFL's canceling games, cases all over the fucking place. A lot of fucking problems in football. The NBA showed that it could be done. Different sport, different parameters, I get all that, but they showed that they could actually be COVID-free based on how they set things up. So
it's almost like if they had guidelines and you stuck to them, that it would be okay. If you just socially distanced and had testing and wore masks, if you didn't socially distance, then you probably wouldn't get the fucking virus.
Yeah.
Imagine fucking that.
Yeah, sacrifice a little bit of freedom for the greater good.
If a millionaire can do it, can you imagine how much the fucking millionaires are sacrificing? I mean, they can't go to their fucking mansions. I mean, seriously. Like, if I was a millionaire, I'd be like, this is some bullshit. But obviously, I'm making money, so it's not that much of bullshit. But, I mean, come on.
Not not even about the players being millionaires. It's the people who signing their paychecks who are fucking still making money. So by the players basically being in a bubble, the people who are signing the players' paychecks are making more money.
Oh no, I'm just saying like their quality of their general quality of life is much poorer than it would have been if they were at home.
Yeah. It sucks being away from your. I mean, we talked about it even in this cast. Being away from your family, whether you're in the hospital, whether you're on a trip and have to quarantine yourself, being away from your family fucking sucks, even if you are a millionaire or a billionaire. So, again, props to the NBA on that shit. All right, Old Ninja, take us out.
Well, on a quick note, I really wanted to hear Cronus talk about this jiu-jitsu movie with Tony Jaa.
We'll talk about it. Talk about that shit next week.
We'll wait till next week. But check us out. We're Black and Black Times Infinity, the dankest podcast on the internet. Check us out with at BTHANBTI. That's BTHANBTI. Check out our official website, binheadproductions.com/BTHANBTI. Twitter, BTHANBTI. SoundCloud, Stitcher, Player FM, Spotify, Amazon Podcast Now, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can hear a podcast, we're on it. BTHANBTI. I think there's only one outlet we're not on, but we'll be there. We'll get there.
All up inside you. Rathalos looks legit.
No comment.